Good afternoon, everyone. I see a lot of you are tuned in wondering what is happening. Well, friends, it's that time for a live build. Hello, everyone. My name is Lewis. There's John just walking into the shot there. Today we're building a workstation PC powered by PNY NVIDIA Quadro RTX graphics. Now you're probably wondering, RTX, isn't that for gaming? Guess what? It's also used by professionals as well for rendering graphics and all sorts of workstation tasks. Let's jump into this immediately to the specs. What are we building? What is this? This is an Origin PC L-Class workstation desktop. If you go to originpc.com, you'll notice that we have a section that says workstations. And in that section, you'll see that we have different classes of desktop. It's S, M, and L. L represents large. Wow. What do you know? It is an Origin PC Millennium case, a 1000-watt Corsair RM1000i PSU, an EVGA X299 dark motherboard, Origin RGB Frostbite 240 sealed liquid cooling system, the Corsair Premium RGB fan. So this is not just a workstation system that's going to be dully lit. This is going to be very well lit because we're using RGB fans. The CPU is an Intel Core i9-9960X. It comes in at 3.1 gigahertz standard and at 4.4 gigahertz max turbo. The graphics card, as I mentioned earlier, is the single 24 gigabyte PNY NVIDIA Quadro RTX 6000. 24 gigabytes. Hold on. Who said 24 gigabytes? That's about like close to a Titan, not even close to the 2080 Ti. It is quite the GPU. I did some research on it before the stream, and let me tell you, this is not for gaming, but it is for high-end workstation power. For the RAM, we have 64 gigabytes Corsair Vengeance RAM at 3000 megahertz, 4.6 at 16 gigabytes each. The OS drive is a 960 gigabyte PNY CS 1311 SATA SSD. And then for the super storage, 24 terabytes total. 24 terabytes. If you woke up today and were thinking, man, what can I do with 24 terabytes? Guess what? That's what this system is doing. 24 terabytes of Seagate Barracuda hard drive space. That's a lot. This system also includes a sound card from EVGA, the EVGA NU audio card. It's really cool. We'll be talking about that later in the stream. And for capture, we have the Elgato 4K 60 Pro Capture card. Of course, this system comes with wooden crate armor, warranty, lifetime 24/7 USB-based support, and lifetime free labor, and of course, Windows 10. John, what are you doing? Well, we can't hear John right now, but John, if you ever want to talk, you know what to do. You got a random PJ in the background, lurking. For those of you, yeah, he's noticed. Yeah, just a random one. And I am here to answer your questions. Because now you're probably wondering, why isn't it play? This system can play games. Don't get me wrong, but it's not designed to do that. And I know everyone's going to ask, price. We'll get to that as well. I'll go ahead and spec it out on the site. Note that the parts we're using in this specific build some of them are not offered on the website, so I'll have to do estimations, as I typically do. But I can see your questions from Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, and Mixer. We'll be told if this is a giveaway. This is not a giveaway system, friends. But if you are interested in a giveaway, boy, have I got news for you. Earlier this week or last week, relatively recently, we just launched a giveaway with PNY for a workstation system. Now, this system is an S-Class system, I believe, and is a NVIDIA Quadro RTX 4000 graphics card. Well, you're probably wondering, how do you enter this? Guess what? If you're watching on Twitch chat or Mixer, type !PNY Pro. So just once again, !PNY Pro, and you should get a link. And actually, the link will be rotating throughout the stream, so every so often the link will pop up. For those of you watching on Facebook and YouTube, I got you. I'm going to post the link on there very shortly so you can enter. It's a very cool giveaway. Again, this is for a workstation system. Can it play games? Yes. Is it ideal? Probably not, because this is designed to crank out crazy graphics. All right, so let me get you Facebook. I know Facebook. Facebook, where are you? I'm gonna stay on the screen for a little bit there until I get the stream or the link to the Facebook friends over here, because I know they're itching for it. I see you guys. All right, I just posted the link on Facebook, and for YouTube, there you go. I shared the link on both platforms, so you guys should be good to go. I'll go ahead and share that link later on again, over and over and over. But for Twitch and for Mixer, all you gotta do is type !PNY Pro, and the link should pop up. Again, it happens every so often. I don't want to spam the chat with the link, so it's like every so often I'll just say PNY Pro, and then you guys will get it. What else do we have? So, actually, let me move some stuff around here. Hey, guess what, friends? We just launched some new hardware. Introducing the Origin PC Cryo Core. It is a motherboard liquid cooling distribution system. I know that's a mouthful. I know. I had to write some of this stuff too, and I'm like, man, how do you make that sound really cool? And guess what? Cryo Core is what it's called. It is a motherboard mount that also functions as a liquid distribution system. If you look closely in the photo, you can actually see that there's liquid on the motherboard mount, and it's connected to a Corsair Hydro X series liquid cooling system. So it's a very cool, very stylish. Does this offer performance benefits? Not really. It's definitely more for aesthetics, though. And if you want to make your system look extra cool, you can check that at originpc.com on Millennium and Genesis systems. Let's go back to the build. John's already like hightailing off, and I'm just here yapping away, just getting started. All right, John's got the motherboard ready to go. He's gonna insert that CPU. I'm gonna blink, and the CPU's already in there. All right, and I'm here to answer some questions. Who's Sawyer Hartman? So Sawyer Hartman's a YouTuber who's been at the YouTube business for, I want to say 8 years or so, more. And he is incredibly experienced with camera work. So he needs this computer to crank out incredible videos, incredible photos at the speed of light. Sound, light, whatever. This computer will speed up his workflow, especially with a Quadro graphics card. Again, rendering is going to be a breeze. You can check him out at YouTube and on Twitter, but his main base of operations is YouTube. Actually, let's go ahead and check out his YouTube channel for a quick second here. Well, John's getting the board ready to go. Hey, John, you want to show people the motherboard real quick? I'm jumping to the camera on your right. There we go. He's going to adjust. There you go. There's the EVGA X299 board. I'm going to go ahead and jump to YouTube and go look up Mr. Sawyer Hartman. If you haven't seen his videos before, they're very well made, especially the vacation or like the videos where he's like out traveling are great. The dude knows his cameras. Let me tell you, I watched some of his videos and I'm like, oh man, you can learn a thing or two. And he also posts tips and tricks videos as well. So if you're interested in photography, go check him out. Anyways, let me pause that and jump over to this really quickly. You can go check him out. So here's Sawyer Hartman, chilling on YouTube. He's got a bunch of videos. There's some drone footage there in Hawaii, a bunch of other videos. And there's actually, where's that video that I was talking about? He did a camera video. There it is. The Canon G7X Mark III. Best vlogging camera. 3 lenses every photographer needs. 5 photography face and how to fix mastering manual mode. Oh, that's a useful video right there. I prefer shooting in manual. That's an ad. Let's get out of here. Back to the build. I love shooting in manual mode. I actually do some photography here at Origin PC. Actually, that cryo core pictures that you guys saw earlier, I took those photos. I don't want to toot my own horn, but yeah, they came out pretty nice. All right, I see some questions. What's an ESD strap? So we're in Florida, and the static here is pretty much non-existent because it's so humid. Correct, John? Because everyone always gets nervous when you do the builds because they're like, oh my gosh, where's the strap? Where's the strap? Why are you connected? And John just here, just nodding off, just like, yeah, we don't need to worry about that stuff. But there's also their special lotion that PJ has. Has PJ used that lotion before? All the time. PJ just walked in and just said all the time. It smells good too. So there's actually a special lotion when dealing with electronics to reduce that. So what else we got? Let me continue answering the questions. If I win, I'll be giving to my partner to use for animation. We just upgraded her FX 63 or 6300 build from a GTX 970 to a 980. Oh, cool. Oh yeah, definitely. If you do animation, you can definitely get some benefits out of that Quadro card. How's everyone? We're doing great. So when are you guys transitioning to Corsair branding? Hold up. Pop the brakes. Did you say Corsair? Oh, that's right. Corsair we're now part of Corsair. Surprise. We actually do have some Corsair branding stuffs. We're working on it, but we're going to be pretty much ourselves for the most part. Let me put on music. It got really quiet all of a sudden. We're going to be ourselves. You're just going to see a lot of Corsair parts. Actually, you can see a lot of the Corsair parts in this build has already started. So you've seen, oh, look, John's holding up the RAM in the top right top left of your screen. So there you go. Hello, I would like a free PC. How do I pursue it? Creeper. Oh, man. Oh, my gosh. I swear if I see another creeper, oh, man, I'm going to slap someone. Ugh. My friends were getting me all up in arms of the creeper, oh, man thing, man. Oh, man, oh, man. That's what I can say to that. How's the build? I think it's going good. John's working on it. He's prepping, I believe, the RAM. Yep, there he is nodding again. I am correct. He's nodding. John's nodding. Let me swap to the other camera so you can see him inserting the RAM. So it is 4 sticks of 16 gigabytes each. Oh, that's a lot of gigabytes of RAM. It's black is the Corsair Vengeance RAM. Now everyone's typing in creeper on man because I said that. I did set myself up. I know. I knew that ever since I mentioned it. I knew it was gonna happen. It's a Streisand effect. You draw more attention to it when you try to ignore it. You try to like steer attention away from it. It just builds more attention. People are posting the creeper. How about the Minecraft comeback? I have to say I'm very surprised by it. I know that there's like a trend of people amping up their Minecraft hype, and a lot of content creators on YouTube and Twitch are playing Minecraft unironically, might I add. I think at first it started ironically, and then it became unironically, and people realized that Minecraft's actually really fun. So, what do you know? Hold on, let me change the camera here. You can't see what John's doing. He's working on the top. That top over there. Let me take off. Let me do some business over here. Remove that. You've never played Tuber Simulator? No, man. I won't. No ad's gonna convince me otherwise. The song's already a dead meme. Bro, that song's a dead meme from 8 years ago. You're telling me it's a dead meme? That's a zombie meme now. It's a zombie. That's what it is. How to participate in giveaways. So if you're watching on YouTube, let me post the link for you because I'm such a nice dude. I'll go ahead and post that link right there for you. All you can do is enter. This is I believe, North America only giveaway, excluding Quebec and other places that don't allow giveaways and stuff. So there it is. And again, that's for a Workstation S-Class. So it's not a gaming system, but it is a very powerful workstation system. And then you can tell me if it's good or not. Give it a try. No, I'm not. I'm not going to give it a try. I'm sorry. It's not going to happen. Hold on. John's doing stuff behind the scenes, and I can't see it. Oh, he's unscrewing the power supply shroud. I'll cut you a deal. What deal you're going to cut here? You can't cut me a deal. I'm dealless. That's not good. Only for we try. So there's a lot of legalese that goes into creating worldwide giveaways. Worldwide giveaways are not easy. So if you see someone doing a worldwide giveaway, then props to them. It's just a lot of legalese we have to work behind the scenes on lawyer stuff and shipping prices and making sure accounting for the cost. That's usually the big thing, is this accounting for the shipping prices. Because let me tell you, shipping worldwide is not cheap. And again, let's say we did open a worldwide, but we didn't front the shipping costs. Imagine if you want a system and you were somewhere, say, overseas, and we were like, hey, congratulations, you want this system. And then guess what? You get slapped by a massive, massive shipping and customs fee. And then you're going to be like, hey, I didn't expect to pay for this shipping and customs fee. And then we're going to be like, well, sorry, too bad. And that's why we don't run worldwide giveaways all the time, because that's be really mean. But when we do the worldwide giveaways, we always account for it. It's like, okay, this time we're making sure. Okay, well, here's a question. What is your opinion on the GTX 1660 Ti? I think it's pretty good. I think it's a very good 1080p card. If you want to get into some gaming on 1080p monitors or TVs, it's definitely a good option. You get pretty much play everything around 60 FPS, I want to say, or more. If you're creative enough, you could probably get more with it too. I think it's good. I mean, that's the balance I'm trying to debate, right? Because actually, I'm now shopping for a new GPU too. The 1660 Ti is not on my list though, because I'm trying to get a card that's good for 4K. So unfortunately, that kind of puts all the super cards up on the board in the 2080 Ti. So I'm expecting to pay a pretty penny for the GPU. So shipping so expensive. I had to ship some water samples for work. Overnight priority, $5,000. Oh. So what is the best PC you can recommend for someone on a $1,000 budget, and if not, then $2,000? I'd probably up. I mean, see, that's the thing. You're setting your numbers. Now I'm like, I can't maneuver with 1,000. With 2,000, you can maneuver a little bit better. 1,500, probably a little bit better. So when you're building a PC, the things you want to consider definitely are the CPU and the GPU, and then go from there. Everything else kind of falls into place, in my opinion. Once you've selected your CPU and your GPU of choice, you just pick the ones that you want from there, and then just build your way out, basically. Do you want to go with a specific case? Do you want to go with a cheaper case? You don't want to skimp on the power supply. You want to make sure you get a good power supply. Definitely, I want to say $70 or up on the power supply, because I know they make those cheapo power supplies. Be careful of those. Who's talking? Who is talking? Oh, that's just it's the radio. Definitely consider, you got AMD Ryzen, you got the Intel Core i5, i7, and then for GPUs, if you want to keep the price low, GPU, I think the part where you're gonna have to do a lot of the tweaking is the GPU, because once you figure out your GPU, you can pretty much go from there. So let's say you go to the 1660 Ti, that's about, I want to say 200, 250 or so, and then you can go from there. You can get a CPU. You can get a pretty decent build with the 1660 Ti. So just spend all of your bank account. It's worth it. Need a China power supply. Oh no. What card is good for 1440p? I'm gonna go with either the 2060 Super or the 2070 Super. Might have to check the benchmarks in the games. Definitely the esports games such as Counter-Strike, Rocket League, 2060 Super should be more than enough. But for AAA titles, maybe consider the 2070 Super. Isn't a GTX 1070 already enough for 4K? 4K 60 FPS? The problem is games are getting more complex now, and you got stuff like Doom and Cyberpunk and Call of Duty coming out with a bunch of technology inside that requires extra power. The Corsair CX450M is a good PSU for $60. It is a good PSU. Corsair makes great stuff. When's the giveaway? So that giveaway, the PNY giveaway, exclamation point PNY Pro, ends in October. What else do we got? Best specs for editing PC. Now, editing what? Video? Photos? It's about the same. I'd probably say, again, if you want to go with the Quadro graphics card, or actually, oh no, the camera. I'm sorry, guys. Let me do some tweaks here. You got this camera shot right there. A lot of the cabling happening over here. Best specs for editing PC. Definitely, you want to go good or go on the high end for the CPU. If you're going with editing, definitely consider a high-end CPU, whether it's Intel Core i9 9900K or the AMD Ryzen 9 3900X. Both of those are excellent CPUs for editing style, or editing purposes, I should say. And the GPU, again, it depends on what software you're using too, because if you get software that doesn't use GPU, normally all software uses GPU, I'm just saying, you got to keep an eye on what GPU is best for your software. A little bit of research, but definitely CPU is going to be CPU intensive. I run Ultra on most things with the Asus ROG 1080. 10 series card's awesome. I love them. I've talked very positively about them on the stream before. So what about AMD? I said AMD. AMD is awesome. Best specs for music production PC, specifically using FL Studio. See, now that I can't, I mean, that's extremely specific. And I haven't used FL Studio, so I can't tell you exactly what kind of specs. I'm pretty sure, though, if you do a little bit of research, you can really track down which CPUs work best and which GPUs also work best for that. But definitely the CPUs, if it's music production, definitely consider the CPU side of things, for sure. Yeah, for audio, CPUs are your focus. I told you. Thank you, Twisted Blizzard, for reiterating my point. Heck yeah. That's approval for my comment. Thank you. I kind of know what I'm talking about, right? Now, John knows what he's talking about. He works with this stuff all the time. Oh, John just laughed. John's like, ha. Oh, Alex on YouTube says, shout out to Mitch. Kid is a legend. Mitch, I think he's talking about you. Oh, no, the fire alarm just started. Oh, no. All right, friends. Where's my BRB screen? Oh, no, the fire alarm's off. That's good. So, crisis averted. We're good. Ryzen plus, I'm assuming NVIDIA GPU or Ryzen plus AMD GPU. Matter of preference, to be honest. It's up to you guys to determine that. I like both, but I probably lean a little bit more to NVIDIA. I think it's just because I've historically used NVIDIA GPUs more. I think the last time I used not a Ryzen, AMD GPU was on a laptop a couple years ago, and it served its purpose. It ran games at the time really well. Ran Max Payne awesome. So, hold on here. I think we have 5 minutes for the music to start. See the Mitch is walking around in the background, taking the photos. Currently have the 1950X. Have you heard if it's good for rendering in Adobe After Effects? I mean, 1950X? I'm assuming that's really good for Adobe After Effects, to be honest. That's a great CPU for that. I mean, you should probably try it yourself. Best monitor for video and photo editing. That's a good question. I guess it depends on what you're creating, to be precise, right? So if you're working with a lot of high-resolution photos, maybe consider getting a 4K or definitely 4K monitor. I mean, a 4K monitor. I mean, I don't know if the hertz or having like a fast refresh rate could help you. Maybe, I mean, again, for video, it also depends too, right? Because for videos, typically it's about like 30 FPS or 60 FPS. You don't really make 140 or 144 hertz videos. I mean, I know there's people out there that make them, but I think a 4K monitor is probably your choice there. Make sure it's got good color. Color is important. That's one thing I failed to mention. Color is extremely important when you're hunting down a monitor. I'm here thinking, I'm more in the gaming aspect of things right now, so I'm always thinking about the hertz, the refresh rate, because like if I want to get a new monitor, for example, I'd have to consider, the 144 hertz screen with a low latency. Can we fit a AC and desktop cabinet for cooling? Are you talking about like an AC unit? If you want to reword that, I'd be more than happy to respond. I mean, AC, no, that's not an AC adapter. My air cooling? I hear that NVIDIA GPUs are really temperature dependent, so do you think it would be better to water cool and overclock a GTX 1070 Ti, or get a new and better GPU, keeping price per performance in mind? Water cooling, so again, there's two different types of water cooling. There is the all-in-one cooling, which we're actually doing with this particular build, and then there is the custom loop cooling that we actually saw earlier with the cryo cooling. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and pull that up so you can see what I'm talking about. So that is a custom loop. That is fully custom. The tubes are hand molded and everything and all that fun stuff. That is extremely advanced. And if you get custom cooling through us, it's a premium option, I have to say. All-in-one cooling, which we do actually have right here. Actually, you can see it on the table right now. John, go ahead and point at that all-in-one cooler. John's pointing at the all-in-one cooling right there. So that right there can get you an extra oomph in performance due to the design of it. Again, it's also a matter of preference as well. But people definitely prefer to use liquid cooling for the CPU. Is the liquid cooling necessary? It's matter again, like I said, it's matter of preference. Here at Origin, the team prefers to use liquid cooling for overclocking CPUs. So, and actually, you can also use liquid cooling or all-in-one liquid cooling on GPUs, but it depends on the shroud too. Because some like EVGA, Asus, and others use all-in-one cooling in their GPUs. Just to name a few. I know other people do that as well. I hope I answered that question. And that's the thing. Like, I mean, instead, if you're considering water cooling and overclocking as 1070 Ti, I'd probably look into that 2070 Super or the 2060 Super. Because I know the 2070 Super, a lot of outlets went on record saying like the price per performance for the 2070 Super is really, really, really good. So I'd probably consider that. I mean, unless you can get a 1070 Ti for a really good price, I'd probably consider the 2070 Super. If price is like a thing. Because I know some people, like, price is a serious option when building a PC. IPS 4K is what I've been using for After Effects and Photoshop. There you go. Air conditioner that we use our home. I don't know. Honestly, the air conditioner or using like standard air cooling like that, I mean, there's a little bit of difference. Like obviously, if the room itself is hot, they're going to see a noticeable difference in performance. Actually, funny story. A long time ago, I had a laptop, a really thick laptop, and I tried playing Street Fighter when my AC was broken in my home, and then the laptop just shut off. Playing Street Fighter. Street Fighter's not that demanding. Street Fighter 4 actually at the time, arcade edition, and I was like, oh. It's too hot. So, cooling does matter. The PNY 6000 card seems like an absolute monster. How does this card help with video production compared to a GeForce game card? That's the perfect transition to introduce our guest, Mitchell from PNY. He's going to get mic'd up here real soon, and he can tell you all about that because I'm familiar with the Quadro stuff. But Mitchell, to my left, you're going to see pop up very soon, is an absolute beast when it comes to that stuff. Hold on, give me a quick second. The fire alarm's going off again. This is just the stream's way of saying, hey man, no. It's off. Alright, so we got Mitchell there. Mitchell, go ahead and scooch in a little bit here. We're gonna introduce Mitchell. You got your mic over there set up? Alright, let's go ahead and say hello.
All right, what's up, guys? So the question... Too loud? A little too loud?
No, you're good. You're good to go.
We're good? All right, cool. All right, so...
Mitchell,
again,
everybody.
Yes, this is me, Mitch Palmer from PNY. I'm the digital marketing coordinator there. To answer the question, the PNY 6000 card seems like an absolute monster. How does this card help with video production compared to GeForce gaming cards? So the NVIDIA Quadro line of graphics cards are more of the professional line. So people using Autodesk applications, Adobe applications, these professional users, for instance, Sawyer Hartman, using cameras that shoot in very high resolutions, whether it's 4K, 8K, 6K, 5K, you know, people that are using red digital cinema cameras, they're going to need something a little more powerful than, you know, your typical GeForce card or your MacBook Pro. And that's kind of where the RTX 6000 comes into play. Like you mentioned, it's an absolute monster when it comes to video production and editing. So this is kind of like the premier line of graphics cards that NVIDIA has released and provided for creators out there.
It's a very creator-focused card. Again, it's not for gaming. I always have to say that every single time I do a Quadro build. I have to remind everyone the Quadro is not for gaming.
Yes, we always get those questions in the comments on social.
I mean, you can play games with them, but it's not recommended. Absolutely not recommended.
Yes.
All right, let's see here. So here we go. Actually, Jesse has have a question. Does the Quadro help with rendering in some games, or am I tripping?
Rendering in some games, yeah. I mean, it's one of the most powerful graphics cards out there. So if you really want to, you know, if you're a gamer and you want to invest in a Quadro card, I mean, that's your choice. What do you think of my
Would you play with games on a Quadro card, though?
Probably not.
See, no, there you go. You just heard it.
No.
Don't do it. And also consider the price to performance as well, because Quadro cards, again, they're priced a little higher compared to the GeForce alternative. GeForce is aimed at gaming, and the prices are lower compared to Quadro, where the prices are a little bit higher because they have a specific purpose in mind. So if you're out there thinking like, oh, I'm going to spend all this money on a Quadro card, especially like the RTX 6000, and then you're going to realize that you're spending way too much, especially if you're going to only use it for gaming.
Right.
Just a forewarning for those of you that have expendable money, don't do it. If you want to use it for gaming, don't do it. Just go with the 2080 Ti, or if you're feeling extra, go with the Titan. But definitely the 2080 Ti is your option for that one. My GPU has an 18-pin connector. What's the cleanest way to hide the second connector on the cable? What do you think, Mitch? Any thoughts on that?
18-pin connector. What's the cleanest way? I'm gonna let you take that one.
You can either tuck it in or probably consider getting a different power cable, because sometimes Corsair has the modular power cables and get a specific amount to that. But using zip ties and just tying it away, I know we've done that in some builds over here. Like let's say that there's the connector, there's an extra part, just tie it away.
Yo, Mitch, kid is a diamond in Rainbow Six. I'm gonna have to correct you there, Alex. Platinum, not yet that diamond.
Oh, you play some Rainbow Six. Ooh,
all about that R6.
The team actually is currently we're gonna probably play some Rainbow Six tonight.
Nice.
I haven't played in a very long time. I've been very hard on the Destiny grind. But I really love what Ubisoft's done with Rainbow Six Siege. I think it's awesome to see where it's come from, all the updates, all the characters, and all the features.
Who's your main?
I like Montagne.
Montagne.
He's great. I love the shield. The shield's a very good trolley device.
Yes.
Although so many people know how to get around it, but it's still funny to intimidate people with the shield.
Yes.
So, but other than him, I really like Jaeger. Jaeger's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I like the other characters as well too, but definitely Montagne and Jaeger are probably my most playtime.
Nice.
All right, let's see what else we got. We're a little behind the questions. We'll get to them. We'll speed up here. All right.
Yo, shout out to Sean Fagan.
So for a secondary streaming PC, would a Quadro card be better? I'll go ahead and answer that, and then Mitch can probably offer his thoughts on that. In terms of that rendering, because I know there's NVENC rendering. Hold on, let me lower the music here. It's a little loud here. Oh, that's just the way it is. Okay. Anyways, I think you're fine with GeForce, to be honest. That Quadro cost, again, considering the Quadro cost, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's just the Quadro cost gives features that are useful in other applications. For streaming, probably not so much. I think you're fine with GeForce, to be honest, especially for streaming, and you plan on using NVENC. Because streaming is demanding, but you could probably get away with a 1660 Ti, even just for a streaming PC or less. Because NVENC encoding is just that optimized right now. Actually, we're using NVENC encoding right now. We have a 980 actually in our streaming PC, and we're using that to encode this very stream. So again, you don't need that much power. So I think you should be fine with GeForce. Any thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Just kind of piggybacking off of what you said. NVIDIA Quadro, yes, you could probably use it for streaming, but would you want to? Mm-hmm. Probably not. Going back to the whole cost thing.
Yep.
Like I mentioned earlier, the Quadro cards are really meant for professional applications. The GeForce cards are going to be able to handle Twitch and all of these streaming applications just fine. So yeah.
Cool. What's the best card for gaming? The quick answer is a 2080 Ti. It's designed for it. I know people like to point to the Titan RTX, but I prefer the 2080 Ti in terms of performance. If you look at like the performance between the Titan and the 2080 Ti, it's like very minimal. So that's an easy one to answer. What kind of monster are you guys building today? Let's go over the specs. Mitch, I know I went over the specs without you. You're just walking around doing the camera. But let's go ahead and go over the specs and see if we can chime in on what makes this truly a workstation desktop besides GPU. Because we already talked about the GPU for a good while here. But there's other things in this system that make it a specifically designed for a workstation build for Sawyer. Let's start from the top. We know we got the case, the Origin PC Millennium, with its multiple mounting possibilities for the motherboard, but we're going with standard for today. A 1000-watt Corsair RM1000i PSU. Pretty standard. It's a 1000-watt PSU. Oh, here we go. Here's a workstation part because we have an X39 chipset. EVGA X39 Dark motherboard. What benefits does X39 bring to a workstation? I caught Mitch.
Oh, were you asking me?
Yeah,
I'm
asking
sorry.
you. Yeah, I thought I caught you in a blank. Like, oh man,
sorry.
that's $299.
I thought you were reading a question. No, yeah, the EVGA motherboard. This is great for video editors, anyone that's working in any kind of sound, video production, audio. If you're working in Adobe Audition, Adobe Premiere, After Effects, wherever you're going to find audio in these professional applications, you're going to need some kind of sound card. For example, the EVGA X299. Really no other better one out there.
Actually, to piggyback off of that, we actually do have the EVGA NU audio card going to this. We don't have it in-house right now, but we're going to be adding it to one of the PCIe slots in the system. Following that, we got the 240 sealed liquid cooling system from Origin. It's RGB too, because you gotta have some RGB. RGB does not offer any performance benefits, but it looks cool. We have Corsair Premium RGB fans. Again, looks cool. But the Corsair fans are also really good for airflow as well. I believe they go from 600 to 1,500 RPM. If I am correct. John, nod if that's correct. Yeah, John is nodding. John is nodding. I am correct. Cool. And now we got the CPU. The Intel Core i9-9960X coming in at 3.1 gigahertz and then 4.4 gigahertz at max turbo. So, Mitchell, what are your thoughts? Intel Core i9-9960X.
Ooh. Yeah, I mean, it's the best one out there right now. I know you were talking about it a little earlier with AMD coming out with their new line of CPUs. I personally have a 2700X in my build at home. That's just because the Intel CPU that I wanted was just a little bit out of my range. So, for a little bit more affordability, I went with the AMD.
And this is not a pushover CPU either. This is a high-end one.
Yes, this CPU is what you need for a workstation such as this. With this whole lineup of components, you're going to need that i9 9900K, or is it X?
9960X.
9960X to power through your video editing.
Moving on from the CPU, we have the single 24GB PNY NVIDIA Quadro RTX 6000.
So let me just run you guys through some of the specs on this particular card. When we're talking about CUDA cores, we're talking about 4608 CUDA cores.
What? That's a lot of CUDA cores. I mean, I'm here thinking about like the 20s or the GeForce, and they're about like 1,000, 2,000 maybe, but 4,000?
We're talking big steps. Tensor cores, we have 576. The new RT cores, we have 72. And for GPU memory, we have 24 gigabytes of GDDR6. Yeah, the list goes on and on. Now you guys might be able to get a little bit better idea of what this card is really capable of.
The gamer in me is probably saying, like, how come it can't be used for gaming? Yeah. No, but this is strictly professional. Strictly professional. So if you want to do, video work or graphics or special effects, I think I would love to see this card, go to town on special effects.
Yeah, this card would be killer for anyone working in Autodesk Maya, 3ds Max, any of those 3D modeling programs, VFX, Houdini, any of those VFX applications, you name it, this is the card for that kind of work.
Excellent. Moving on, we have 64 gigabytes of Corsair Vengeance RAM, 3000 megahertz. It's pretty standard. Nothing too special to shout here. It's just that's a lot of RAM, pretty much. Again, this will help applications that eat up a lot of RAM, or if you like to multitask as well. For storage, we have the 960 gigabyte PNY CS 1311 SATA SSD. Now, Mitch, you're from the house of PNY.
Yes.
Tell us about this SSD.
This SSD is pretty darn fast, I can tell you that. We recently just came out with the 2311, but this is one of our top-of-the-line SSDs. Super fast, super reliable. Yeah.
Cool. That's going to be housing the OS, which is going to be Windows 10. Surprise! Whoa. Unless Sawyer wants to uninstall and go with Linux-based. But hey, we're not going to judge. Linux is awesome. For the other storage, now this is the big one. This is 24 terabytes, which is two 12 terabyte hard drives of Seagate Barracuda HDD storage. That's nuts. That's a lot of storage.
That's insane.
Imagine if a video file that you create, an expensive or a really long HD or even 4K video files probably comes in around 5 gigs, 10 gigs, depending on the length. This can hold a ton of that.
Yeah. We're easily talking about a gig a minute when you're filming in 4K.
Okay. So,
yeah. this system's going to house a lot
of footage and also photography
Yes.
too, because photography or 4K photography or higher definitely eats up hard drive space real quickly. I know
sure.
that because my storage on my personal workstation system here at the office is about like 6 terabytes, so I eat it up pretty quickly.
Yes.
Like we mentioned earlier, the EVGA NU audio card, we'll talk about that in a little bit. And the Elgato 4K 60 Pro capture card. I thought this was an interesting addition. I haven't worked directly with Sawyer, but you guys have, right?
This is our first time working with Sawyer, actually. So
Is there a reason? I'm sorry to interrupt, but is there a reason for the Elgato? That's what I'm wondering. I'm like, that's an interesting choice to add to this workstation system.
we figured we'd add this just in case Sawyer, decides to live stream in the future, decides to, try something different, try and reach his community in a different way on YouTube or some other platform. We figured we'd provide him with anything that he may need for this build.
That's perfect. Honestly, that card's awesome.
Yeah.
We messed around with it for a stream one time, and I loved it.
Yeah.
It was actually for a Red Dead Redemption stream. We
Nice.
recorded it in 4K because we used the Xbox One X to capture the footage, and it was excellent.
Sweet.
Excellent. And that's it for the specs. Again, we got a Wood and Crate armor, warranty, lifetime 24/7 US-based support, and lifetime free labor. Of course, like I mentioned earlier, Windows 10. John.
Yes.
What are you doing?
Building a PC over here, man.
John's building a PC over there. He's currently wiring everything up. And I missed a bunch of your questions because we were really knee-deep in those specs, so I'm going to go ahead and quickly answer them as fast as we can. Explain the Big O. I'll do that later. Guys, I need help. My 1080 Ti is used 30% while playing games like Counter-Strike. Is that normal? I just get 120 FPS with it. I need more with 104 hertz. Help me. That doesn't sound right. Definitely check your task manager and other or your GPU settings as well, 'cause that sounds weird.
The NVIDIA control panel.
Yep, that helps too. What is the best CPU for gaming and streaming at the same time with a budget of 300? Is that for the CPU or is that for the system? Please don't say the system. For the CPU, Ryzen's good. And then I think you have the Intel i5 coming in around that range, but I think the Ryzen 7 3700X is the one you definitely want to consider at that price point. Can you send? No. I love answering those questions. They're fast. Okay, I'm catching up here. Have MSI armor. Screen gloves. That's weird. You're gonna have to talk to their support team. Can't answer that off the top of my head. Unless you have literally hundreds of overlays, even a lower end card will be fine for a separate stream PC. You're correct, Slava. 2070 Super versus 2080 Super. Is it worth the upgrade in a new build? That depends on your resolution, what you want to play at. If you care about 4K, consider the 2080. If you don't care about 4K, 2070 Super is perfectly fine. What brand would you say is the best for PCs? Origin. Duh.
PNY. Duh.
Download MSI Afterburn. Make them say that MSI Afterburn is a good idea for that thing. My son needs to watch this. If you want to learn some PCs, good tips right there. Sawyer. Well, Sawyer's not in chat. Is he in chat?
Yeah, he was. I believe he was something squirrel.
Oh, did I miss him? Man, I could probably make him a VIP so we know it's him.
Sawyer, if you're in
hello.
the chat, write something so we can see it. I saw your email, but send something again.
Hold on, let me make you a VIP here so we know it's you.
Thank you, Silver Skies. If you want him to win, make sure
All right, I have it open over here so I can make the VIP thing happen. Let me scroll up and back to answering these questions. No one chatting? People are chatting. I can tell definitely for sure people are chatting. First time watching them live, came here because I was thinking of upgrading. Well, you're in the right place.
Yes.
I love talking about computer upgrades and all the cool stuff happening on the computer side of things.
Sawyer, what's going to be the first thing you do with the system? I think Sawyer has something very big planned to use with the system. He actually just moved to Hawaii, so he's going to be filming something big with a Red camera, and he's going to need this system to edit it. So we can't wait to see what he creates with the system. But yeah, that information will be coming out shortly.
And is that 8K footage he's going to be recording?
That
or?
is 8K footage.
Woo.
Yes.
Woo. Yeah, this system's definitely perfect for that. Whoever's interested in these kinds of builds, probably on his office working setup. How much does this cost? Good question. We'll work on that in a little bit. Let me catch up with all the questions. We can jump over to the cost. Hey guys, what do you think about my setup? I'm gonna scroll up. I'm gonna be nice to try to hunt down your setup because there's so many things happening over here. I can't even track it down. Naruto. I hope you're not going to the Area 51 raid. Okay. Ryzen 7 2700X. That's good CPU. GPU 2060. It's a good GPU. MSI X40 Gaming Pro. Good. RAM 16. That's good. That's great. If you want, that's perfect for 1440p. You're good to go.
That's solid,
That's a good
man.
build. Good job. Congratulations. We enjoy it. Okay, hold on. Intel or AMD for processing today? We're using an Intel Core CPU. How do you ship liquid cooled systems? That's actually a really good question. So what we do is obviously we have actually, no, it's not obviously, to be honest, because not a lot of people know about it. We have this special packing foam that we put into the computer case and then activate it so it fills up all the space so the tubes don't jitter. And we also, for hardline cooled systems, we do ship them freight, so they are extremely well taken care of, and the shipping is a little pricey, but you want to take care of a liquid cooled system, especially that kind, while shipping. Yep. Because imagine if you order a hardline system and you get your system, it's all like all the liquids all over the place. Ugh. That's a horror story right there. What else? How much whole rig? Oh, we're gonna talk about the cost. Congratulations being acquired by Corsair. Thank you. We're excited to see what both can get done together. We're excited too. It's gonna be cool. Some cool builds. That's all I can tell you. What do you think about this system? MSI X539X 2X 1080 Ti Seasonic Platinum with only SSD. That's good. I'm assuming that's for gaming or probably some workstation task, I want to say, because the 3900X is no slouch. That's a big CPU for you. Thank you. That's awesome. That's good to hear. That's awesome. Not a big computer nerd. Don't know a lot about the terms, but thinking about creating my own computer. What are good places to learn about these things? PC Part Picker is a good place. That's especially good for picking out the correct or the parts for your build, and it does a good job at telling you what works and what doesn't work. It's not a magic wizard per se. Like, it's not perfect, but it helps you guide in the right direction. YouTube is you're commenting from YouTube. YouTube is the land of all the knowledge for computer stuff. Let me tell you. You got Linus, you got Jays, you got Bitwit, you got my cousin Gamers Nexus. There's a ton of resources on YouTube for building a computer from very experienced people, not just random Joe Schmo that likes to build computers. But you can get experience from Joe Schmo too.
Up until 6 months ago, I had never built a computer before. I wasn't really into computers all that much. And I went on PC Part Picker, and I was able to create a system that was within my budget and that, can do what I want the system to do. And I can tell you that experience was great. Then visited my local micro center and then picked up all those parts.
You have
yes,
that. We don't have that here.
We have that in up in Parsippany. But yeah, that was super helpful. But yeah, PC Part Picker, definitely the place if you're a new beginner, just need to learn about things, see the prices, definitely the place to be.
Yeah, learning about the parts helps a ton because when you learn what each part of the computer does, you'll have an idea like, okay, this is what this does, so I don't really need 32 gigabytes of RAM. That's a very common misconception when you're building a gaming PC. People always assume you need a bunch of RAM because I need a future-proof. You'll be surprised. 16 gigabytes of RAM can get you away with pretty much every game.
If you're building your first PC, be prepared to take some time out of your weekend, preferably like the whole day, maybe like 8 hours, because all that wiring does get a little bit confusing when you're doing it for the first time. So yeah, don't get too discouraged. Keep pushing, and you'll get there.
Words of wisdom. Words of wisdom.
Yes.
So what aspects you guys would pick for a video editing PC with a budget of $2,000? I mean, honestly, the build that you had was probably that's a good start for a video editing PC, like a standard one. But if you want, I mean, that's the thing. Quadro is it's very good at what it does. That's what I can confidently say about Quadro. It's very good at what it does. But if you're considering price for a build like that one, that's when you have to get the debate: should I go with GeForce or should I go with Quadro? Yeah. I think Quadro is awesome for 4K and more editing.
Yes. Yeah, for a budget of $2,000, the card of recommendation would be the RTX 4000. If you're doing video editing, can handle. I personally have it in my computer and my workstation at work. So it handles. I edit videos most of the time there. So and I can say that it handles 4K video editing in full resolution without putting any kind of color correction or audio, correction on top of your clips. But once you start to add a little more color correction and effects to your work, it's going to start to, slow down a little bit. You're going to have to bump that resolution to half, maybe even a quarter, depending on your timeline and the things that you're adding. But yeah, the RTX 4000 would kind of fit into that budget, maybe go a little bit over. But yeah, you might be better off going with a GeForce for that budget kind of build.
Good answer. What price to performance CPU that is reliable do you recommend? That's that's a tricky one to suggest because I feel like the current CPUs out from AMD and Intel are pretty good. It's just a matter of like which fits your budget per se. Because I know for a lot of people, like they look at the price for the i9 9900K and they're like, whoa, that's a little much. But then look at AMD and it's like, wait, why? Like this is cheap. It's not cheap. It's really good. That's what it is. Like compare again the price points and all that stuff. And reliable, it's again, I think all these CPUs are great. This is a matter of make sure you got a good CPU when you put it in your system, make sure it's good, and then going from there. I haven't had any issues with Intel or AMD personally, so I wish I could be more detailed about that answer. But definitely consider reading reviews or looking up YouTube videos of comparing the CPUs to see if maybe there's something that one CPU offers more than the other, or maybe there's something that you prefer to pick your CPU. I hope I get that. That's the best answer I can give you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, for what I found, looking to build a video editing workstation, I ended up going with the AMD 2700X because it had the more cores than the Intel within that price range. So that was just the direction that I ended up taking.
I mean, these new 3rd gen Ryzen CPUs are great. We were reading up the reviews, and I know that we're actually building some systems with Ryzen 3rd gen, and they're great. John's nodding his head already. He's like, Yeah, look at him. You can see him nodding his head. Is AMD still very picky on RAM selection? Been thinking about building an AMD rig in the future. John.
I use Corsair Vengeance with my build.
Yeah, so you can use Corsair on it. I think you should be fine. Repeat.
The Dominator Platinum.
Oh, Dominator Platinum. Yeah, that works. I don't think it's too picky, to be honest. I know back in the day, I know what you're talking about, because I know back in the day it was kind of like, oh, which one works, which one doesn't. But for the most part, you could find the right RAM to put in your motherboard for an AMD build. I think reliability comes from having a good CPU cooler, motherboard, and taking care of your computer. Both AMD and Intel are reliable. That's perfect. That's perfect. Thanks, Jake.
Yes.
Just installed those fans in my PC only yesterday. Do you have any cool profiles you want to share, Big? Because we were at QuakeCon and we were talking with the Corsair team over there, and there are so many profiles for IQ. I hate calling it IQ because it's like IQ, like Quadro. But it's like a Q for the pool. Anyways, that's another conversation. But I see you eat. Every time I say I see you eat, it sounds like I see you eat. And I'm like, I don't want to see you eat sandwiches. It's a bad idea. But IQ's awesome. There's a lot of cool things you can do with the RGB software for that from Corsair. And I like that you can sync it with the RAM, with the CPU cooler. And in the future, actually, our Millennium desktops will support it as well, which is going to be really cool. There are way too many. I've not had a chance to how to properly play yet. Yeah. I know some of the games actually offer some profiles. I know Division 2, Far Cry 5, Far Cry New Dawn, and Metro Exodus all support special profiles that light up the computer based on what's happening in the game, or just the game in general.
Wow.
It's really cool. I'm pretty sure they're working on more stuff. I mean, I don't know. I haven't talked to them, but actually there's some people out there that make custom profiles based on the game. So I know there was one for Rage 2 that we saw at QuakeCon that's really cool. Yeah. I think it's really cool that the community is so active with that kit. And I know that I'm looking to build a computer with that same RGB kit as well, so I can probably make some custom lighting profiles, probably like a Doom themed one, like with red. So it'll be cool. All right, so we've caught up with all the questions. I think I've answered everyone's questions so far. So if we miss it, if we for whatever we miss it, just feel free to ask it again. We're gonna get into some NU sound card love over here, because whatchamacallit, EVGA makes a sound card, and we're gonna have for this build. Actually, you can see it in the specs sheet over here. You can see it in the right column, EVGA NU audio card. However, it's not in house right now. It's on its way. We'll be adding this card after the build, but we're gonna talk about it for a little bit. Just gonna give it some little special shout out. So EVGA introduced this card a couple months ago, and they partnered with AudioNote to create this very high-end audio card. So if audio means a ton to you, this card comes with so many features and hardware inside that is designed for your audiophile needs. Because I know there's people out there that love their audio. I'm not one of them. Audio's great, but I'm not checking the transistors and the components. But the stuff that is inside this card, let me tell you. And you're using software associated with it as well. And it has RGB lighting. That's the part that got me when
Wow.
Yeah, it has RGB lighting inside the card, which I thought was kind of funny. I was like, oh wait, it has RGB lighting too? What? EVGA has all the information on their website about this sound card. I know people are thinking like, sound card? I don't need a sound card in 2019. Well, guess what? Some people out there do, because they work closely with audio, so they need that extra oomph in their sound quality. So you can check that out on EVGA's website and look up the new NU audio card. So shout out to EVGA as well for the motherboard too. As you saw earlier, we talked about briefly about the EVGA X39 dark motherboard. And back to what John is up to, where it's very dark in there. I forgot to bring in the light to light it up, because the problem is when we work with dark cases, it's kind of hard to see what's happening.
Hey, I got a light to hook up if you guys need.
Man, there's something missing.
John's like, there's something missing. He's missing the light. Let's see what the chat thinks. Chat, do you want a light to see what's happening inside the case? Just say yes or no. That's all you gotta say. Let's wait for a second here, because it's gonna take a little bit for the responses to come in. Let me jump to the other cameras so you guys can see how it looks. We got one yes. We have 5 yeses, and we'll work on it. Yes, please. That's 2 yeses. 3 more. That's 3. Let there be light. 2 more. And we'll get to work on that real quick. John, just turn on your headlamp. 4 yeses. Yes, please. All right, Mitchell.
Alrighty, I will set that up.
Go do your thing. All right, Mitchell's gonna go
Chat has spoken.
set up the camera, not the camera, the lighting, so you guys can see what's happening inside. I mean, I love these black cases. However, it sucks when you're filming stuff like this because it's so dark inside. You can't see it's not really quite clear. So Mitchell's gonna go ahead and set up a light to make it a little easier for you on the eyes for you guys. So he's setting up this light here. Oh, that'll work. That's perfect. All right, so we just add a little light there. Could probably move it around too. I wonder if you put it on the table. Oh yeah, that's perfect. And the trick is to make sure that yeah, there you go. All right, John's there.
Thank you, Monster. If you want to see him win, make sure
All right. What's so funny there, guy? How much does this build cost? All right. Everyone always likes asking that question. And also let me know if this lighting works out for you. If it does not, we'll look into an alternative option, because I know we have our giant lights in our photo room that John loves so much. He just gave me a look. You don't want to get a look. John, what is this? What is this? John's whatchamacallit? Oh, that's a good question. Place your bets, chat. How much do you think this system costs? All right, quick reference point, and then we'll go ahead and price it out. let's take a look. So, this is what you're working with. I know the enterprising individuals are going PC Part Picker and be like, aha, I know the price before you do. But more power to you, man. We're going to do that right now. So, check it out. Anyways, so place your bets. What do you think this system costs? We'll get to it. And I can tell you right now, I have an idea. And one of the hints I'm going to give you is look at the NVIDIA Quadro RTX graphics card. That's the only thing that's the only hint I'm going to give you. And then from there, we're going to go ahead and start price. Actually, I'm going to price this thing out on my own over here and just get started. All right. I'm going to talk about, actually, let me jump over here so you can see what John's up to.
Did you miss me?
All right. I'm tired of the music. The music isn't music anymore. It's killing me. So we're going to turn off the music for now until the music comes back. All right. So, we're working with an L class. Let me just jump over to the other camera. And it is a Millennium chassis. So we got the Millennium chassis. Actually, you can see what I'm up to over here. We'll stay here for a little bit. Okay, someone said 67K, 11K, 3,000. Okay. We got your guesses. We got tempered glass on one side. These panels have laser etching or custom printing?
They're custom printed.
Custom printed. So you know what that means. Glass print. Gonna go ahead and add this. This is not the print that is on the system. Let the records show. This is just adding it so you can see the cost for the printing. So don't come to me and be like, that's not the same as the system. It's just as a point of reference. So calm down there. Moving on. So this is not included, but you do get the special offers too. So you get the free user ground shipping and the Visa gift card. So, all right. The CPU. It's this one. Click. So notice when you click on that one, everything changed. So the motherboard changed, memory changed, and the cooling changed as well. Just to confirm, let me double check real quick. Let's take a look at what happened. Yeah, 9960X. Yeah, that's correct. That is correct, friends. We're not CPU overclocking, right, John?
No.
All right, cool. All right, so we got that. Let's keep on. All right, so there again, like I mentioned earlier, the EVGA dark motherboard is not on the website, but I'm gonna get an approximation. I think this one should be fine, so we should be good with that. The RAM. So we are using. Let me check really quick here. 64 gigabytes of Corsair Vengeance, 3,000 megahertz. So 64. Hey, did you know you can get 128? We're not doing that. 64. And at 3,000 megahertz. So that's accurate there. Moving on. The cooling. And this is RGB cooling. So we got to add that $2 extra. That $2 extra for the RGB cooling. It's very important. Case fans, we're using Corsair Premium fans, so that adds more to that. All right, we're at 4,000. Oh, it's the GPU. Remember how I said, oh, yeah, you got to consider the GPU, friends. Oh, it's not on here. Hold on, gaming. No, it's not on here. Dang it. Hold on.
I can't tell you what it is on our site, but I can tell you on NVIDIA's site that it's 4,000.
It's 4,000. Mitchell's saying it's 4,000. So hold on. I think this is probably the closest cousin to this. It's not quite the same. So, yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and add the 24 gigabyte P6000. Again, this is not perfect science, but it's close. So there's going to be give or take here, because the P6000 is like the predecessor to the RTX card. So stay tuned. Operating system, Windows 10. Hard drive cage, yeah, that's standard. We're not getting too deep in that. The SSD, we went with a 1 terabyte. Again, that drive is not on the site. We'll go ahead and add this one. For the storage, we got 12 terabyte. And we don't have, no, see, like I said, again, same thing. They're not on here, but we'll go with 2 of these. Hey, no, 2. There you go, cool. And the power supply, we went with 1,000. It's not on here, but we'll go with this one. It's the closest one. And, oh, you guys forgot. We added some cards. There's the EVGA audio card. And there's the 4K 60. And then I think that's it. Again, this is an estimate. It's not quite the same, but for those of you, the person that said 11K, give yourself a pat in the back. That's really close to that price point. So it came out to $10,676. Again, that's an approximation. It's not perfect science. Again, some of these parts aren't quite the same as the one we have here, as you can see on this list, but it's really, really close. So for those of you who guessed 11K or close to 11K, guess what? You won. Congratulations. You get a cookie, a digital cookie from Twitch or wherever you're watching it. So sorry. So there you go. There's your price point, friends. It's close to 11K. So actually, again, from my reference point, it came out to 10,676. But I think that sounds about right for sure. 11K, 10.6. So again, the GPU is no pushover, friends. When the GPU is more, hey man, if you want that Quadro processing, that costs us a pretty penny. And again, that is specifically for professionals. So let's say you work with special effects, you work with closely with video. We were talking about 8K video earlier. This is the kind of card you kind of want because it definitely helps with your rendering and your video editing in general. Our RTX, whoa, you're hitting me with a really out there question there. You threw me off. RTX 5700 XT, that's not a card. You're hybriding the NVIDIA and AMD cards. But I'm assuming you're talking about the 5700 XT from AMD. The benchmarks came out pretty good for it. I think it's cool. If you don't want any ray tracing, it's a cool option. And if you're a big fan of Team Red, definitely look into that for sure. Team Red. Team Red. Team Blue. Team Green. Team Origin. When is the Big O available? No. It was a one and never again. There's a lot of legalese that goes on behind the scenes for a build like that one because we can't just freely pull Xboxes and PlayStations and all this stuff. And there's also a lot of work that goes behind the scenes to put the Big O. The last time I talked about the Big O, I think we priced it around 1,000 or 12K, close to 12K. And a lot of that came from the labor, from the cooling, and from the customization. Because it's not a system you can just buy off the shelf. So, are you ever going to cut your hair? Everyone loves to make comments like that. Nah, man. 2019. Keep going, keep going. All right. So we're there. John, how are we looking at the build?
Pretty good. Just gotta relocate some stuff.
Right, he's got to relocate some items. And, but overall, it looks pretty good. The power supply's in, the motherboard's in, the RAM's in. He's just wiring. Actually, let me jump to the other camera. You can see what he's up to.
Not quite. Okay.
There you go. So you can see some of the wiring happening there. Looking pretty good. Never cut the flow, bro. Oh, Accelerate Gaming in chat. Hello, Accelerate Gaming. How you doing? Hello. We have Mitch hostage here in the room. He's walking around taking a lot of cool video with his camera. Hopefully he can cut a video later for you guys and share all the cool stuff. Good working. Yeah. You can pull it off on the website as well. I can try to do that after the stream. Everyone loves to talk about Crysis. Crysis this, Crysis that. Can it run Quake 2 RTX? That's the real question you should be asking. Because let me tell you, Quake 2 RTX is super demanding. You're probably thinking, Quake 2, isn't that game from a long, long time ago? It is. But they introduced a mod that adds RTX to it, and it looks really cool. We did a stream about RTX Quake 2 a while back when they launched it. It was really cool. I like playing Quake, so I had a ton of fun doing that. All right, let me do some tweaks here, because doop, and swoop. There we go. Cool, so you can see more of what's happening over there. Can it run solitaire?
And like, there's been some frame drops lately with it.
John says there's some frame drops in solitaire.
On the top.
I mean, Minecraft is. I mean, Minecraft is demanding. I know I was talking about the Minecraft comeback earlier and how it's totally real. Minecraft, you can run Minecraft on anything, but if you want that high-end Minecraft experience, let me tell you. Quake 2 RTX, you mean Quake 2 Ray Tracing? Actually, that's Quake 2 RTX. You can find it on Steam. It's a mod you can download. And so if you own Quake 2 on Steam, you can actually implement it onto your Quake 2 install. But if you own Quake 2 on disk, for those people that still keep their PC gaming disk, you can actually install the mod on that too. Any change to the studio with the purchase of Origin? You mean Corsair's acquisition of Origin? Maybe. We're talking about it. We're talking about updating the studio here and there to make it better for the live builds, better for the PC plays, and maybe add some other things. Conversational pieces, talking about computers and tech and upgrades and all that fun stuff. Kind of what we do here, but on a more casual setting, not a technical. And John's here working more of like a casual space to enjoy the intricacies of computers and the like. Avocado toast. Why is it so expensive? Does a PNY SSD help with video rendering, or is that strictly on the PNY 6000? The PNY 6000 card is the source of the video rendering. PNY SSD helps you access your files really fast. It's definitely for the actual like video rendering and editing processor. That's where the card comes into, give you the oomph in your PC build. CPU 9960X, that is correct. The X series, 9th generation. I couldn't run Minecraft on my laptop. Oof. You could play it on your phone if you really want to play Minecraft. You have phones, right? But oh, I can't believe we're still making jokes about that. I feel bad for Blizzard. I feel oof. I bet you watch that Diablo game's gonna come out and it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. Don't hate. It's gonna be great. Hello. Welcome. I think John's knee deep in the wiring phase. So he's working with the cables. It's funny, this is the part that takes the longest in the build. And it's not to slight John or any of the builders. It's just the reality. Because putting the parts together is pretty easy. It's just the wiring and making sure everything's clean and not a mess. I'm shouting out all the people that make messes in their computers. Oh, what's John opening up? I see the PNY. I see it. It's the white box. There it is, friends. The PNY NVIDIA Quadro RTX 6000. Oh, note how it looks a little different. A little different from the GeForce lineup. It doesn't really scream gaming to me, design-wise, to be honest. It's definitely, it looks like you can do some science with that thing. You definitely can, by the way. If you're a scientist and you need some, a lot of science with this GPU. That's one thing I think that I think there's increased awareness nowadays about is that GPUs aren't just used for gaming, surprisingly. They're used for other things too, such as, the video rendering we were talking about earlier, but also for science tasks, for professionals, researchers. Research, oh my gosh. There's a bunch of papers on NVIDIA's website about using these kinds of GPUs for research or rendering models, doing test runs, physics, simulations, a whole bunch of stuff. Oh, he's going to do the peel. He's gonna do the peel. Hold on, we gotta get to the other camera. He's gonna do the peel. And I think that camera, this camera. Where are you going, John? Where are you going?
All right, I'm just gonna do it right here.
Hold on. Let me swap over here. There you go. You can kind of hear it. No, that's gone. There it is. It's a little shiny there. You can show the people in the camera. Oh, let me jump over here so you can see the shine. It's not quite the mirror that you find on the super cards, but it's definitely shiny enough that you can see your face on it. Jump to the other camera real quick there. Got the NVIDIA logo, Quadro. Don't put your fingerprints on it. Calling out John. He's like, I built it. I'm just giving John a little hard time here. Whoa. Slow. John, what is the hardest part of building a PC?
Probably I gotta say, the cable management, I think.
John says the cable management. And I agree.
I'll mic up in a second. Hold on.
Oh, Mike, John's gonna mic up too. Oh man, you hear his voice. Oh. All right, hold on. We got the John mic up happening a little bit. Let me know if the light. Actually, hold on. John, you gotta jump over there and hit the switch.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He's got to reset. Whoa, he's pushing the camera back. He's like, get out of there, camera. You see Mitchell in the background recording all the cool footage with the PNY card in the background. All right, let's do a little test here. John.
Test.
Oh, there you are.
Hey. So yeah, I mean, aside from the overall layout and planning of the system, I think the cable management's probably the most difficult part. I mean, for me, I've been doing cable management and stuff for a long time, so I'm.
How long? You gotta give the people a
man.
date.
Jeez. Over 10 years, 12 years.
There you go. There you go.
I mean, yeah, it's definitely a long time. But it's probably the most difficult part is the cable management. Yeah, definitely.
There you go. Thank you, John. All right, muted. There's your answer. Robot. Mr. Roboto. All I hear is John's How come I never win giveaway, huh? Well, there's just the reality of statistics. Is this, I mean, there's one statistic I can tell you. You can't win if you don't enter. Hey, it's true though. Because actually, I remember a long time ago I entered a giveaway for like these random things that Rockstar was giving away. It's like these little viewfinders for GTA 5. And I entered. I was like, why not? This is a little gizmo, whatever. And I won. I'm like, what the heck?
It's like that movie, Nightcrawler.
Yeah.
If you want to win the lottery, you gotta buy a ticket.
Exactly. Tell them. Bye. Y'all giving away free stuff? Yeah, let me tell you. We have one system, and multiple people can enter to enter this system. And we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it real quick. Actually, we're going to go over here and jump over to our screen here. So for those of you watching on Twitch or Mixer, actually, I'm going to get the link ready for those of you watching on Facebook and YouTube. We are running a giveaway in conjunction with PNY. The Watch to Win giveaway. And it is a workstation system. Power, look at that. It's a Quadro RTX GPU. It's actually the 4000. So you're talking about earlier how the 4000 would be awesome for editing 4K video. Well, guess what? If you want to add some 4K video or do some high-end computing power, or you need some high-end computing power, guess what? Enter this old giveaway. To enter this giveaway, if you're watching on Twitch, type !PNY Pro, all one word. And the bot will give you a link to enter the giveaway. It'll only happen every 5 minutes or so. But for those of you watching on Facebook, I guess what I got for you. Copy, paste, post. For those of you watching on YouTube, copy, paste, post. Sawyer Hartman, the video maker? Yes, that's correct. Get marked. You're correct. I just posted the link to the giveaway. And in the giveaway, you have to watch a couple cool little videos from PNY and also follow, visit, etc. You know the drill. The contest ends Halloween. It's a long time, but don't forget to do it. There's a lot of days left, but don't forget. Sometimes people are like, I want to enter your contest, but I forgot. Yeah, don't forget. Again, if you're watching on Twitch, !PNY Pro, and the bot will give you the link. So, there you go. There's our current giveaway. We have a lot more in the pipeline. That's just one of many. One of many, friends. One of many. John is doing some tinkering here. He's about to put on the fans on the top panel. Actually, no, the CPU cooler and the fans. It's two-pronged. Fergus flexing that YouTube and Twitch power. I'm at 2 places at once. I don't know how you're doing it, Fergus. You got some powers or something. Yeet. Yee. I wonder how... I mean, I know Yeet sounds kind of recent, but I gotta give a shout out to Yee, to that dinosaur. It's one of my favorite memes. I got John singing the song. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Yee. There you go. There you go. One word, dual pawners, pal. That's 2 words. I got 3 monitors. What about that? And then someone's gonna chime in, I got 6 monitors. I'm like, okay, yeah, you're special. I'm from Taiwan, not eligible. Yeah, we always talk about that. Sometimes some of these giveaways we have to do in North America only because we have to factor in the shipping cost sometimes. If you see a worldwide giveaway, that means we factored in the shipping costs for the giveaway. We can't do it for all of them because, again, it's very technical to set that up legally. A lot of lawyer stuff surprisingly goes into the giveaway stuff. I've done a lot of research on it behind the scenes because I help put together the pages and the setup for you guys to enter, and a lot of legal stuff, let me tell you. How likely is water cooling to leak? Well, if you do it correctly, it shouldn't, right? All-in-one liquid cooling, I think the failure rate is like 0.00 something. It's like, is it 0.0 something or? I can't tell you that right.
Low percentage. I really don't know the actual number.
Yeah, it's a low percentage for the all-in-one liquid cooling. The thing is, again, for hardline cooling or soft tubing that you do yourself, that's pretty much dependent on you. I mean, and the parts as well. But you know, if you do something wrong, then. Alex asks, "What is your favorite game on the wall of games behind you?" Behind me, like right there. Ooh. I got a couple. I know Half-Life 2, Doom 3, Fear. A lot of those are shooters. I see, what else? Unreal is awesome. There's some old school games too. Max Payne, for sure. Played all the Max Payne games. Speaking of Max Payne, this is a good segue. I love my segues. For those of you that don't know, this month, the creators of Max Payne, and people always say, when I say creators of Max Payne, they always say Rockstar. Rockstar was not the creator of Max Payne. It was Remedy Entertainment. And they have created a game called Control. Control is releasing at the end of the month, and it features RTX, and probably one of the best implementations of RTX to this date. We're hopefully going to be running a stream to play some Control, but if you get an RTX computer, whether it's a laptop, desktop, you will get a copy of Control and Wolfenstein Youngblood. Again, it's those are two good games to test out your RTX. I know Wolfenstein Youngblood's RTX is coming in the future, but Control will be available on day 1 when it releases on August 27th. I'm really excited for that game. I love Remedy. I've played all their games, and I cannot wait for Control. If you're familiar with the games, you should know to expect extremely tight shooting mechanics, which I played the game at GuardianCon this year, and let me tell you, it's awesome. It is so good, and I'm really interested to see how the full game plays out. So I'm excited. Max Payne 1 and Max Payne 2 is gold. I agree. They're great. I played them a couple of years ago, and it's kind of funny because like the shooting controls in that game are just so much more enjoyable than other games. So, yep. August 27th is booked with Classic. I know Classic. There's a lot of hype behind Classic. I'm not a WoW person, but I understand why you guys are so excited for it. Totally understand. So I know a couple of people on our team are excited. Then we got people like Bajira who are really excited, Swifty, Towley for sure. All those guys are super hyped, and just everyone. I think if you played WoW, you're probably extremely excited for Classic. So, can a person from Nepal take part in this giveaway? No, I'm sorry. Just stay tuned for a worldwide giveaway. You'll know when it's worldwide when we put it in the post. If you see the words worldwide or word worldwide, that means you're good to go. But again, some countries, actually, I learned this recently. Some countries are not even allowed whatsoever to enter certain giveaways. And it's actually in the Department of Treasury. Hold on. Where is it? I thought I learned this the other day, and I thought it was the funniest thing. Where is this? I'm looking for it right now. Because, like, the countries... Hold on, where's the countries? I'm trying to find this thing. Aha, here it is. So if you're in the Office of Foreign Assets Control banned list, so if your country is, like, blocked straight up, you can't enter. Where's the list? I'm trying to find the list for you. Yeah, so Venezuela, Nicaragua. Hold on. Is this it? Where's the new list? Yeah, Treasury. U.S. Department of Treasury. Where is it? I know Cuba's on there, North Korea, and Quebec. I mean, Quebec isn't a legal thing. It's just or it is a legal thing, but it's not because of OPEC or OFAC. It's because of Quebec's laws. Because they want to protect their people. I understand where Quebec's coming from. It's just like now you can't enter anything at all unless you're in Quebec and you register with the Quebec government. Do that. So the province of Quebec. I don't apologize. That's just the way that some of these laws work. But I think Nepal should be fine for worldwide giveaways. It's a specific list of countries that cannot, like, under no circumstance can we, like, do anything with. Yeah, there's Cuba, there's North Korea, then Venezuela. Zimbabwe. Oh. All right. I see you're using the Corsair PSU in this build. What made you choose the RM1000i? There are several PSUs in this bracket. Why Corsair? There's two answers. I'll play the first one. Roll the tape again. I love rolling the tape. It's always funny. Corsair Origins. That one's good. I'll give you that one, Dead BC. That one's pretty funny. Is United Emirates on there? I don't think so. Again, I have a rough list here. Yeah, Syria's on there, but I can't. Where is it? Yeah, there's a specific list of countries. I wonder. Banned nations. Sanctions. Balkans, Belarus, Burundi, Cuba, Iran, Iraq, Lebanon, Libya, Nicaragua, North Korea, Somalia, Syria, Venezuela. Yeah, there's a couple. Zimbabwe. Yeah. I love my NS17. Keep up the great work, guys. Oh, I'm awesome. Awesome that you're enjoying your NS17. It's a cool laptop. Let me tell you, I'm in the market for a laptop too. And that is a very strong laptop, let me tell you. If not mistaken, it's usually because Quebec requires the company to pay taxes on the giveaways. That is correct. That is very true. You are correct. Guys, I need help. You asked that question earlier. Honestly, we can't, like, that's such a strange thing. You should probably check the GPU settings. Obviously, check your performance. And 1080 Ti, so that's a desktop. Definitely check with the support team for sure. Oh, the second answer? I think that's just what we had, to be honest. But yeah, the first answer for sure. The second answer is just, I think that's what was preferred by the people who built the system behind the scenes. So, because you can obviously add more power to the system, like the 16 or 1600 watt or 1250, whatever. I think they were just comfortable with that 1000 watt one. So, and John looking at the system very, very closely. Sick Boy with the subscription. Hey, Sick Boy, what's up? Thank you for the sub. Hopping in. What's up? Not much. Would you do a laptop build anytime soon? We've done them in the past. The problem with laptop builds is they take really, really, like, no time at all. Like, they take 2 seconds. Because the laptop by itself, it's pretty much already set up. The only thing we'd be putting in would be either the CPU, the GPU, the cooling, the RAM, and then the storage, and that's it. And that takes like 30 minutes, 40 minutes, depending on the complexity. They're cool to do, but again, they just don't take that long. I think if we do a laptop build, we'd probably do 2 instead of 1. But yeah, I know it makes it seem like it's really easy to make your own laptop. I think the tricky part is to get your hands on a laptop chassis, because you can't really do that just like with random parts off the shelf. So check your voltages and hardware monitor. Will I blow up my PSU if I run a Ryzen 5 2500 and an RX 570? What's your PSU? That's a good question. If you're running at 400, maybe. I think 500 is a good safe one, to be honest. I mean, the safest is to go with more, but if you're, again, cost and all that fun stuff that goes into PC build, make sure you don't get a cheapo one. Never, never, never cheap out on the PSU. Just don't do it. Bye.
I got the 2700 to start and then went right back for the 2700X.
What's the truth about pushing Intel? Oh no, we're pushing Intel. Go check out AMD's 3rd Gen Ryzen processors on OriginPC.com. We promote both. Actually, if you see on our website, actually one of our banners is promoting the 3rd Gen Ryzen CPUs. It's just on this particular build we are using. Oh, it's not on there. They got rid of it. Why did they get rid of it? I like that banner. Makes me sad. Yeah, we were promoting that for a good while. Oh, it's actually right there. Our event systems are powered by Ryzen. Fun facts. So if you go to PAX West, TwitchCon, or wherever, or you might like a gaming convention, our systems will be there. Our systems that will be there are powered by Ryzen. So yep. 40-watt Corsair. I think that should be fine. You should be good with that based on the CPU. But if you consider getting a better GPU in the future, definitely consider a PSU upgrade. What? PSU is a power supply. That's short for that. Because every electronic device, wherever, specifically in computers, requires a. I'm gonna flex on you some details. PSU. Let's start from the top here. PC. Power supply unit. The power supply unit converts your AC, so the stuff you get from the wall, to your power inside the computer. So basically, it takes all the power from the wall, it gives it to all the stuff inside the computer. There you go. Thanks, man. Got it. Cool. You can learn more by Googling. It's true. I just learned some more stuff right here about the PSU. There you go. Fun facts. Which power supply is best for a gaming PC? I don't know. Yeah, there's a Corsair one too. Cool. Well, Origin PC available worldwide via Corsair supply chain. I cannot answer that question because I don't even know. I don't know. I'm out of the loop on that stuff, man. They have these meetings and they're like, "You're not allowed in. Stick to the live builds, kid." And I'm like, okay. What is the best GPU ever created? The best? Performance-wise, currently, the best GPU currently is, I believe, the Quadro 8000 or Quadro RTX 8000. Again, performance-wise, that doesn't necessarily mean the best. Again, if you want to play gaming, the best GPU available right now, again, ignoring cost, all whatsoever, is most likely the 2080 Ti. The Titan RTX can do gaming, but I prefer the 2080 Ti in terms of gaming performance. Because I think the frame difference between the Titan and the 2080 Ti is like very minimal, extremely minimal. And the difference between the two is essentially double the price of the 2080 Ti. I don't think I've voltage like the card's 78 when other games would be a 4 when using 100% of the card. Why not Titan if you have the money? It's just not designed for that. If I honestly, I could that extra 1,200 that you can use towards the Titan, you could use towards other things, right? So you can use it towards better cooling, more RAM, even RGB if you wanted to add some more, a better CPU. You can use that money for something else. And if you want to be really enterprising, probably 2080 SLI, but I'm not a fan of the SLI stuff. I know people do it. I know we do it for some of our builds, but I'm not a fan. So, actually, it's funny. I was looking at older systems back in the day, and there's the Quad SLI. Like the old Big O had Quad SLI. It was really entertaining because I'm like, oh, 4 cards. But why? Kickflip, I think it could be the game. I don't know. Maybe, you know what it could also be? This is a long shot guess. I'm like shooting blanks here. Maybe Counter-Strike is trying to use the Intel chip, maybe? I don't know. And a PJ enters the arena to take a look. PJ in the red. Hashtag free PJ. They're investigating something. Let me jump to the other camera, see what's happening here. They're doing stuff. They're like, hey, what's happening here, man? I'm going to reinstall Windows, I think. Yeah, it's just so weird, man. I don't know if you have an extra GPU to try, maybe, because sometimes it's a good way to test if it's the game or if it's something else, is to unplug your current GPU and put another GPU in. So, I mean, granted, I know that everyone has GPUs lying around like we do. So, Quad SLI. Yes. He's going to create a Big O on a live stream chat. What? You just made PJ laugh. Oh, you guys are great. This is going to be the game, but 120 FPS 1080 Ti. Yeah, it's not good. It should be getting 144 hertz or more. That's weird. Wait, was I right? Did I fix it? That can't be right. Then my spitball thing? No, I don't know. That's nuts if it was. Because actually, I was messing around with a laptop this weekend. I returned this laptop. I'm not naming the brand. I just wasn't happy with it. I got a 1660 Ti Max-Q laptop with a Ryzen CPU. And it was really cool. I liked it. It was thin and light. It was awesome. But then I got some performance issues, and I was not happy with that. So I returned it, and I was sad. So I'm just going to wait for Black Friday to see if there's any good laptop deals. So lagging in Minecraft could be multiple things, because I think he's playing on the Java version, not the Windows version, because of all the mods and stuff. If there's a lot of stuff happening behind the scenes in Minecraft, you'd be surprised. That can add up and really push the system to bring its system to its knees. So. I forgot. Yeah, there's actually an RTX mod for Minecraft too. Have you tried Alpha Cool's all-in-one? I think Corsair's all-in-one radiators are pretty bad. Oh, hold on. Now you're saying mean things about my people. Let's go ahead and check out. I've never heard of Alpha Cool. Let's take a look. Let's learn something, everyone. Alpha Cool, the cooling company. Neat. Let's translate the page. Thank you, PJ. Round of applause for PJ hopping in. Oh, that's cool. Oh, that's neat. Cool. I haven't seen them in Newegg. Do they sell in Newegg? Again, I've never heard of them. It's like they're German. Cool. And they got RGB lighting. It's very important. You have RGB lighting in your products, man. I bought a $25 case with a top gap so small I couldn't even route the 12-volt CPU cable through the back. Ooh. That's no good. Rip. Sad silence. Is my radio working? Oh, it is working. Cool, let's check real quick. Mitchell, I see you standing around. Do you want to join or do you want to continue? All right, Mitchell's going to go ahead and join. I see him standing there just staring at the build, very concerned. Let me go ahead and bring back Mitch. Give me 2 seconds here. Click that, click this, and bam. Do another tweak here. Oop, oop, oop. All right, Mitch, you're on.
I'm back.
Bam. There we go. Cool.
Cool.
So what do you think so far of the build?
It's looking good. It's looking sharp. It's looking clean. It's looking mean. Let's say that.
So a little bit of wiring here, a little retooling, and I think that's it. Because the GPU's in there, I think John's probably also going to add the Elgato, but that takes 2 seconds, to be honest. So I think it's coming out great. Can't wait to see the finished thing and all turned on and good to go.
Hey, huge shout out to the Origin team throughout this whole process, and a huge shout out to Sawyer for agreeing to this awesome collaboration and partnership. It's been a long few weeks and maybe some months working on this collaboration with Origin and Sawyer, but it's been really enjoyable, and I believe our teams have worked together great. It's been an awesome experience. It's been a big learning experience for some of us, and big shout out to you guys. Thank you guys for setting this up and organizing all of this. It's been a lot of fun. You guys have done a fantastic job here. This is really cool what you guys do on this live build thing. So yeah,
I'm glad to have you. Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you for the nice words. We appreciate it. We put in a lot of time to make sure these live builds are entertaining and informative and all of the above. I know people enjoy them to learn a thing or two about the PC hardware that goes into PCs, because I think we come from a world where, like, I work with this stuff all the time, so I just assume everyone knows what I'm talking about when I say, like, oh yeah, my GPU is having a blah 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 blah, and they're like, what are you saying? It's like, what's a GPU?
yeah.
And it's like, oh yeah, that's right. I'm not at the office right now, so I'm speaking like nerd speak.
Yes, it's very difficult meeting new people and trying to explain like what kind of industry you're working in and the kind of day-to-day things that you get to do, right?
Mm-hmm. Here's a question. Let me see here. This is more of a comment. About a new PC put together and everything was running great for the third and fourth DIMM slots didn't work. Had to take everything back apart. Oh man,
Bummer.
that sucks. Just build things. It's true, man. That's one thing that sucks when you're building computers. Sometimes is like you'll find like everything works great. Everything was put in correctly. The cables are plugged in correctly, and then one of the parts just needs to be RMA'd. And then you're sad, and then everything gets delayed because you're like, I can't wait to play my new game or whatever, and yeah, that's a bummer.
What are some of my favorite games from 2018 to 2019? We were talking about R6 earlier, Rainbow Six. It's kind of one of my big games that I play most frequently. Into PUBG, love PUBG.
How many chicken dinners you got under your belt?
On PC, not too many. I'm kind of
Do you play solo or in squads?
Duos.
Okay.
Duos and squads with the boys back home. But yeah, for PC games, PUBG, I play R6. But that's really it. I gotta get into Battlefield and definitely gonna be getting into the Call of Duty when it comes out. Can't wait for that.
Yeah, Call of Duty's actually. Sydney was telling me that there's gonna be an open beta sometime in September.
Let's go.
So you don't have to get pre-order or anything. You can just go in and give it a shot.
Very nice.
So looking forward to that. And actually, Call of Duty's gonna have RTX features.
Yes.
So I don't know if the beta's gonna have them enabled. Probably not. But we'll see if it at launch or after launch, Call of Duty will showcase that beautiful RTX lighting. And actually, they're using a new engine this time, so you can probably definitely see it for sure. You know,
It's looking sharp. It looks like R6 but on steroids.
Mm-hmm.
It looks really nice. Yeah.
Yeah, the realism is pretty crazy.
Oh yeah, the night mode, the dark mode. Oh, it looks scary. Yeah.
Hi guys, how are you? We're doing great. Thank you very much. Actually, Jesse from Facebook says, everything I know about VC I learned from Linus Tech Tips. He's great, man. You love him. Very informative, very charismatic, and very good at dropping stuff.
Like processors that cost
Yeah, just like,
$20,000
oops.
and
Oopsie.
lineup has been announced. October 18th, we'll be at Electric.
We're doing well, Day Lizard. How are you?
Slander, Gammer,
Looks like I'm at the tail end. Sadly, you might be correct. John is putting in the final touches of the PC build. You can kind of see it on this scene over here. He's working on the top of the PC on that top part. John's gonna move the camera. So oh, there you go. Aha! You can clearly see what he's doing there. Got the two Corsair fans up top, and those are the 140 millimeter, right? 120. Okay, those are 120. Okay.
Yes, we were talking about Linus dropping stuff.
Yep. I like how it's like everyone knows. Everyone
Yeah.
just knows.
If he doesn't drop something, it's like, wait, what?
Yeah, because all of his other guys, they don't drop anything. They're very careful.
Nothing a little super glue can't fix.
Is it better to use supplied thermal paste or opt for the offered paste? That's just a matter of preference. I think the offered paste is definitely more inclined to help for overclocking. So if you prefer to do the overclocking stuff, the other thermal paste that we offer on our side actually is preferred for that. But if you don't care about overclocking, the normal thermal paste is fine. Yeah, because I know that there's some thermal pastes out there that offer better performance when you heat the system or when you actually really push the system. But for the most part, the normal thermal paste is fine. So, but I know there's people out there that swear upon their thermal paste of choice. So, yep. Global giveaway. There is no global giveaway. There is a North America giveaway though. Exclamation point PNY to check that out for a Workstation S-Class powered by PNY NVIDIA Quadro RTX 4000.
I don't know, man. I'm accident prone, dude. I'm very accident prone. You see my fingers after the big O. Slice and dice all.
You know, PJ talking about his fingers.
Lewis, you're so vague with that.
I know that's the entire purpose of that.
Pain. Oh, look, my max.
I use Arctic Silver V and only notice a 2-3C difference in temp. See, that's the thing. Like sometimes people really like those differences. So I know for us, we always try to go for the best thermal paste that gives us the best results. So toothpaste works. Yum.
Crest or Colgate?
Ooh. I don't know. That Harman Hammer seems pretty good. I was wondering, do you guys think it's possible to do two full-size ATX systems in the same case as a Big O? We've actually done that before. Not just for Big O, but we've done Intel rigs, Extreme rigs, and we have stuffed full-size ATX motherboards into one system. If you Google it, actually, let me see if I can try to find one. Let me see here. Intel Extreme Rig Challenge. Where is it? Where is this thing? Because a while back we did this competition competing with other system builders, and honestly everyone had really cool systems. There was like Table, the Sphere, and all this cool stuff. Trying to find ours. Oh, I don't have pictures. Where is it? I feel like I'm on a wild goose chase. I know I have pictures on it on my computer, on my desk, but we actually did multiple that had like 2-in-1 ATX motherboards. So what we would do is we would just kind of nudge the motherboard forward a little bit because there's a little bit of leeway inside the system that you can actually vertical mount the GPU and have it with the second PC on the side. So I think one of the popular ones that we did was a streaming PC on one side and a gaming PC on the other. So it's really cool. Actually, we didn't have a GPU on the streaming side. We actually had an Elgato capture card. So it is doable. It requires a little bit of ingenuity. What do we got? 900D is a sweet case. Cool. I think John's just tying up some loose ends over here. and then we're gonna wrap it up because we're about hitting the 2-hour marker. So if you got any questions for Mitchell or for me, this is your time to shoot them, because then after that we're gone.
Back to Jersey.
So Mitchell, I have a question. So for
Sure.
PNY Pro, you guys do a very hard focus on professional side.
Yes.
Can you give us some examples of professionals besides video editing? Because we talked so much
Right.
about video editing that can benefit from the Quadro cards. I mentioned earlier researchers and universities. That's actually one. I like that example a lot because I know I've seen it myself at universities when they do like the simulations or they use programs that benefit from Quadro hardware.
Right. So Quadro pertains to a lot of different industries out there. We're in healthcare, we're in aerospace. Like you said, data science is big. NVIDIA just came out with their data science workstations. So you'll see those with multiple Quadro RTX 6000s in them. A bunch of our partners offer those data science workstations. Also the media and entertainment space. As well as some other industries too. This past SIGGRAPH, we just got done with that the other week. We had 2 VFX artists from Gnomon School do a presentation in our booth speaking about their workflows in Redshift as well as V-Ray, speaking about how they've grown as a designer, coming up, working in these programs, and how they've been able to see an evolution of their workflows with these GPUs, whether it be GeForce or Quadro. So yeah, Quadro pertains to a lot of different industries. It's not just specifically media and entertainment. There's a lot of CAD, a lot of engineering, architecture, engineering, and construction is another big segment that Quadro pertains to. So yeah.
So it's funny because I was gonna say like, it sounds boring.
It sounds boring.
It sounds boring, but the thing is, it's all these industries that use computer hardware more than games. I know
Yes.
it's hard to believe because everyone's so like amped up about the games, and it's true. A
Right.
lot of the people watching are amped up the games. I like my games, but Quadro really does push the software to where you need it.
Right.
Especially, I remember in college seeing the engineer students work on their projects using the lab computers, which were powered by Quadro, of
Right.
course. How else can you render some of those CAD, especially the complex ones? Like the simple ones you can do on almost any rig, but when it gets extremely complex,
Right.
You need that processing power on
Right.
the graphic side.
Yeah. So the new RTX servers that just came out, they have anywhere from 8 to 10 Quadro RTX 8000s in them. Again, at SIGGRAPH, we had a Silver Draft system powered by 10 NVIDIA Quadro RTX 8000s that was rendering this new car in VRED, Autodesk VRED. And that was a really awesome demo. You got to see something that really, it was only in our booth at the show. It wasn't anywhere else on the show floor. So it was kind of the premiere of this RTX server showcasing the rendering powers and the real-time ray tracing within that specific program. So yeah, it's a lot of really cool stuff out there that NVIDIA Quadro pertains to. It has longer life cycles than some of the GeForce, and there's just there's different drivers specifically geared towards Quadro that help power these programs.
Yeah, they just introduced Studio.
Yes,
right?
yes, Studio. Yeah, the Studio drivers just came out. NVIDIA is pushing. This is kind of in support of NVIDIA, the NVIDIA Studio campaign, which the NVIDIA creators accounts, the NVIDIA design accounts are running across social. So we figured that Sawyer was kind of like the perfect fit to support the NVIDIA Studio campaign as well as our PNY creators campaign. Just supporting people in the media and entertainment industry, working hard, whether it's on video editing, VFX. Those are the kind of people that we've been targeting as of recently. So yeah.
And to raise awareness, because I imagine,
Yes.
I feel like those people that deal with that sort of thing are more concerned about their creativity than the hardware itself.
Right.
Gaming is weird, or PC gaming is weird in the fact that PC gamers are very in tune with the hardware they're working with and the games they're playing.
Right.
However, sometimes creatives, they don't care about the PCs. They
Right.
just want something that runs and doesn't lag.
Yes.
And I totally understand that. It totally makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Again, if some Mac kind of gets away with murder in that regard. Kind of like, oh, our computers are good for that. But the thing is, on the PC side of things, you can do so much more.
Right.
So much more,
Yeah.
and it always kills me when I see those specs and everyone's like, oh my gosh, these are great specs. I'm like, come on. If you go with a custom PC with something like Quadro,
Yeah.
just like Intel or AMD, it's like you can get crazy performance out of that. It's just
Yeah, I went from a 2015 MacBook Pro. I had that for a while, and then I upgraded my system. I built my own, computer, and I wasn't able to. I had the Panasonic GH5, so I'm editing 4K footage. I'm not able to do that on a 2015 MacBook Pro.
Nope.
It's slow as could be.
Nope.
So that's why I decided to upgrade, and totally worth it. Whether you go NVIDIA GeForce or Quadro.
See someone asking for the specs. I apologize. I didn't get the ready for the stream, but here are the specs, so you can take a look. I know we have the specs scrolling at the bottom of the screen, but here they are one more time to showcase what exactly this system is being outfitted with. Yeah, we just want performance. Don't care anything about RGB. Because I'm currently specking out my build, and I know RGB. I've been debating going back and forth about the RGB thing, but at this point, I'm like, you know what? I'm in it. Let's just go RGB. Because the Corsair fans come with RGB, and there's cases that come with RGB fans already on them. So I'm already like, I'm committed. Let's go with RGB. Fine.
Got a question from the Grand Arcanum. How does this PNY card handle 8K footage? Super stoked to see what Sawyer does with this, especially because you mentioned that he might do something 8K related. So the Quadro RTX 6000 in particular is more than capable of handling 8K Red footage in Premiere, and as well as Red's SDK. I believe NVIDIA and Red just worked on creating an update for Red SDK. So you're able to edit those, those 8K raw files in their Red's video editing software so much faster than before. They've mostly done the research on and the specs on the GeForce cards, but yeah, they're very similar, if not better, for Quadro.
Yeah, because again, if I were editing, I would not go. 2080 Ti is good, but I definitely lean more to a Quadro, especially with 8K footage. Ha!
Right.
I'm here thinking about the processing power needed to edit, render, and add special effects if necessary to 8K footage. And
yeah, color correcting too. We had some of that on display at SIGGRAPH on in an RTX 6000 build, and it was handling the 8K footage, more than perfect in Premiere. Full resolution with LUTs applied.
I feel like that's the next frontier for the future
Yes.
video editors to look into this kind of hardware, and even not just 8K but 4K footage for sure. Because like you mentioned earlier, the Quadro 4000 is definitely a good candidate for that
Yes.
kind of rendering.
Right. If you want, RTX 4000 definitely for 4K video editing. If you want to bump up, the RTX 5000 would definitely be a little bit better of an option. And then, of course, if you're doing anything more than 4K, you're going to want the RTX 6.
And then photos too.
Yes.
Yeah, photos. Photos aren't as demanding as video, but it helps.
Right.
Especially if you're doing multiple photos. So that's where your computer's brought down to its knees when you do multiple photos. And for someone like Sawyer, it's a lot of photos.
Yeah. And like if you're taking photos of PCs here, if you're taking photos for, let's say, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, you come up with over 200 photos, and you bring them into Lightroom. Yeah, you bring them into Lightroom, and you do all your color correcting and everything, and you edit your photos, and then when you want to go to export all of them, on any other kind of system, it's going to be super slow. But if you have that GeForce or Quadro card in there, it's definitely going to help.
Let's see. I think all the questions are pretty much slowed. John, how we looking? How good? He says he's almost done. Well, I think let me swap to the other camera. John, you want to swap over here? There. Because you're about to put in the shroud, correct?
Yep.
I think everyone's
Scandal.
Scandal.
I don't know what scandal you're referring to, PC guy. I'm sorry, I can't make you feel better about that.
So you were at SIGGRAPH, right?
Yes.
So what else did you see? I mean, besides, because you're probably stuck at the PNY booth for a good chunk of the time. But
Yes.
is there anything noticeable that you saw at SIGGRAPH?
For sure. NVIDIA has their new it's called NVIDIA Gogon, and you can go onto their website. I would just type in Gogon, NVIDIA Gogon into Google, and they've created this really cool application where, it's AI is drawing from a bunch of different pictures, and you can draw on a tablet or, using your mouse, and kind of create a scene, and this AI will interpret it based off of a set of photos that it's drawing from.
Can you spell that?
It's
I can look it up.
Gaugon?
G-A-U...
Gogon?
That? No,
Yes.
not that.
I saw, yeah, it was there. Yeah, he was Paul Gauguin was a professional artist.
That reminds me of that creepy thing that Google did where the AIs would
Yeah,
create
there is.
images.
Gauguin, I'm sorry.
All right, it's this one?
Gaugan,
Or
yep.
I think this one. Launch interactive demo. Oh, okay. We're going to mess around with some stuff here while John's doing
Yeah.
some tweaking. This is what Mitch was talking about. Okay, so we're here. What can we do? So let's take this.
yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, terms and conditions. Where's my terms and conditions?
Might be below.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Stickler for terms and conditions.
I am with Stickler. What does it say? Terms and conditions. Let's read this thing. Oh,
Boy.
there's a lot of terms and conditions there. Don't worry, NVIDIA. I won't break it. Okay. Let's go with that. Okay. So, what can we do?
So I'm pretty sure you can just kind of start painting whatever kind of scene you want.
Oh, I feel like I'm doing something wrong here. So I got the brush. I picked the sky. Oh, okay. So I just did this and about fill. What does this do? Oh, okay. Oh, whoa. So wait. Is this by? What if I just get rid of this section of the ocean?
Would it turn the whole ocean into
Yeah.
the sky?
That's a good question. I swear my Photoshop skills are good, guys. Whoa. So, explain what just happened.
So the AI in the program kind of interpreted what you drew and did its best to kind of replicate that. And
By using this predefined image, right?
yes.
Okay, so let's say if I...
NVIDIA had some incredible, artists on their team at their booth, doing all these drawings, and their drawings were phenomenal, and the program was really creating something that...
So they're taking images from other photographers and kind of creating their own image or using
in
it.
that style, right?
Let's see, because I can't... I feel like I'm messing up with the fill brush color. I don't know if I'm... Hold on. Yeah, because every time I'm drawing something...
It's not.
No, let me... Because I can select this, but I can't change the color.
Hmm.
I don't know if I'm doing something wrong. Oh,
Oh,
that
there
reset
we
it.
go.
So what if I take this color? Oh, there we go. So it's either two colors? Is it a two-color system?
Yeah, I think that I didn't see any other colors that they were really drawing with.
How about let's
So-
mess around with this one. Whoa. So because of that line right there, it starts freaking out. So let's fill up the screen and then see what happens. Just messing with the AI is just creating all these custom images.
So now try grabbing the brush tool, switching the color.
Or what if I... No, I can't grab the color from that. I just wish there was a way to change the colors. I feel like I'm doing something wrong here. Okay. So, okay. Oh, okay. I'm done.
We never bothered to look at that section.
So you choose here, and that changes the color, and that defines the
okay.
thing. So let's go to this as an example. So right now it's all sky. So let's say I wanted to make grass like here. Maybe make a mountain over here. Whoa, that's a crazy mountain. Let's undo that. Grass over here. Mountain over here. Like a really big mountain. I feel like this is like a kindergarten drawing, but we'll see what the AI comes out with. And we got the sky already. That's all. This is sky. Let's fix that. I can just smooth that out, and then use the fill tool. There you go. Look at, okay, there we got the mountain. We got the sky. But let's make a road kind of like next. No, that's too much road. Let's get the sky back up. There we go. Back to the brush. Get some road. How about a nice little road like around the corner over here? Like in the center. Right in the center.
Wrap it around the mountain.
Oh, yeah, even better. Yeah, guys. Kind of turn it. And get the sky again to clean it up.
There you go.
Okay, so there's my road. There's a mountain. Is there a thing for the sun? No. Okay, let's see what happens. All right, AI, do your work. Whoa, that's creepy.
Yeah.
That's creepy.
Like some of the artists at SeaGraph were taking like a good amount of time to draw out their scene, and it was like pretty incredible. So like this program is going to be huge for concept artists, you know, in the media and entertainment industry. You know, if people are working in studios, you know, doing comic book stuff or just concepts for movies. Like this is like a cool application, and it's in the very beginning stages, right? So as this evolves, I mean, this could become a real awesome tool that a lot of people will use.
Gonna make a tree real quick to see how it creates a tree. So I'm gonna make this tall little tree here. I'm gonna make it like this. Let's see what I don't know how the AI will interpret this
A
lamp.
very awkward Christmas tree.
What? No.
Wow.
No. This is nuts. Okay, this is just like the tip of the iceberg. Again, like Mitchell said, if I got more creative and more detailed with it, it could probably turn out something a little bit more creative or realistic. Because it looks a little real, but it looks like someone messed up here.
Yeah.
But the mountain looks good. The tree looks kind of cool, and the hill, it's kind of in the background there. But it looks like the morning road next to a mountain, and it's creepy.
Some little sun reflections.
A little creepy. And again, this is powered by
NVIDIA Gogan.
very interesting and scary at the same time.
Yeah.
The AI overlord is going to take my horrible drawings and convert them to actual photography. So, cool stuff.
Yeah,
John, well, in the meantime, after messing around with Gogan, John has finished up his masterpiece over here. Almost. So, oh, hold on. He's showing off the Elgato 4K 60 Pro capture card. It's very hard to install this thing. Let the record show. Not really. Let me check up the comments over here. There we go. Everyone figured out, like, wow, everyone's reacting to the thing. This is a really interesting tool.
Yeah, go check it out, guys. They might have a competition still going on. I don't know if it was just going on at the show, but I believe they had a competition maybe to win a graphics card based on, you know, whoever had the most appealing submission. So if you'd like, check that program out.
Hold on. I got to show you guys something really quick here. So when you change the different photo, it actually changes your drawing to that style. So if I pick this one, it kind of creates, this is nuts. So it takes my horrible little drawing and just converts it to different art styles and photography.
AI style transfer.
This is crazy. That looks creepy.
It's crazy because the only other AI style transfer that I've seen from NVIDIA typically runs on a GV100. You know, you'll link up a Logitech camera to your computer, and you could do style transfers in real time of any of these kind of different, art styles, but it's you on the screen being picked up by the Logitech camera in that art style. So it's pretty cool that you at home you could be on an old desktop and be drawing on this, yet AI is still doing its thing in the background, creating what you see here on screen.
Look at my masterpiece.
Brilliant.
It's a masterpiece. Wow, you can even download it too. I'm gonna frame this. All right, let's get back at it. I think John added a little something. You wanna move the
boy.
camera?
Shoot. Oh yeah.
John added a little something to the case. Hold on. All right, we're gonna. Hold on, John's getting ready.
That little guy right
All right, hold on. First,
there. That little guy.
so there it is. There's the Elgato. Like I said, it was very hard. So, but let's go ahead and zoom out over here. I'm gonna jump to the other camera so you can show off how the case looks. Are we good?
One thing I do have to do to match the other panel
Mhm.
is change the front panel.
He wants to change the front panel, so he's gonna change the front panel right now. It's gonna take a little. Let's take a little bit. John's a pro. He knows what to do. Can you try that actual road scene selection to see how that turns out? Road scene. I think the first one I worked with was the road scene. Yeah, that was the first one I worked with. But yeah, there's no other road pictures. I'm curious. I'm gonna mess around with this while John's working on it. Let me clean it up here. So let's say if I make everything road everything.
Oh, and another very cool feature about this program is that, say you have your own picture that you would want to have AI style transferred, you can upload your landscape photo or whatever kind of photo you want, depending on the style, and draw something completely different and get some similar results. Is that sunset?
That's road. I'm curious as to why it's creating that effect.
Yeah. It's looking more like a sunset.
Mm-hmm. I think it's just that maybe if I change it to... I want to see what happens if you really Oh, okay.
It's looking like the Dell screen, but in shadow.
Plant.
Oh,
Okay, that one's
wow.
cool. Okay, I'm going to put up the display capture you can see. So what I did is I put plant in the bottom and then sky up here and then created that. That's crazy. So what happens if I go over here? Let's see, now it's like more of a night sky, but with different plant. Man, it's just, I can't imagine all the computations behind the scenes to create something like this. Because I'm imagining it's pulling from a bunch of photos. Right?
Right.
And it pulls from the photos and then puts it on over here for this AI interpretation. Random.
Wow.
Whoa.
Okay.
What if we make it snow? Now it's ice cold. Alright, John's doing some final tweaking over here. Do you need a decent PC for that program? Is it processing done on a server? It's a server. So you can actually go to it right now. Just Google GAU GAN NVIDIA, and you'll get the link to it. It should be under NVIDIA dash research dash Ming Yuliu or yuliu.com/GAUGAN. The app seems a little like bare bones, but it's the processing behind the scene that really shows off what it can do.
Yeah, this app was created specifically for SIGGRAPH, so it's, again, in the beta stages, but it's really cool and really fun to play with. Definitely a lot of potential for that specific program.
Mm-hmm. I feel like you can take a photo and then go ham with these features. And
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah.
I made a masterpiece. What is happening? AI trickery is what's happening. That's what's happening. John's actually adding the door to match the side panel. Because the door was customized. Am I correct? The door was customized? Okay, the door was customized. How many platforms are you streaming to? So we're streaming on Twitch, Mixer, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter.
do you need a decent PC for that program, or is the processing done on a server? I don't really think you need that strong of a PC to mess around with that program. Don't quote me on that, but you should be able to use it on just about anything.
John said all right. I'm gonna take that as we're good. The power cable should be there, by the way.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. We have that.
That is pretty.
So let's go ahead and angle the camera a little bit better so you can show off. There you go. All right, so you can see there's some HD UV printing. You can see in the bottom left, there's the Origin logo. Yeah, there's the HD UV printing of the fractal. I'm gonna swap to the other camera so you can see it better.
See, it's like a low poly gray
Mm-hmm.
scale kind of panel.
There's that low poly design over there in the bottom corner, and then in the bottom left corner you can see the logos.
And then over here, yeah, you got your Origin, you got PNY and PNY Pro.
And then what's on the other side, John? And actually, what did you do with the front panel?
So the front panel is just to match the side panel. But on this side,
Wait for it. Whoa, that's
Very
cool.
nice.
That's really cool. Take a snapshot. That's a nice logo there and a nice little branding.
Fun fact: Sawyer did not have a logo up until communicating with us, so we threw this design for him real quick. Looks awesome.
That's cool.
I think it came out real sharp.
Very professional.
Yes.
So now John's gonna go ahead and turn it on and see if the RGB lighting can take off. Moment of truth. Moment of truth. I can't watch. There it is. Good job, John. There's
Very
that RGB
nice.
lighting. So you can see the RGB lighting is on the... I was going to say the EVGA card, but it's not on there. It's on the CPU fan. Not the CPU fan. The CPU doesn't have a RGB, right?
the CPU,
The cooler?
no.
Okay, it doesn't. Because we put it in the specs, it does. I knew something would go wrong there. Anyways, there's the fan, so we got it to turn off and good to go. And there it is.
Awesome.
That's a lot of power there. I need to let the record show, because we talked about the price earlier, and the price point's definitely around 10.5K or 11K in general. And again, a lot of that is due to that Quadro graphics. So you can throw a lot of stuff at this thing, specifically professional stuff, not games. So let me jump over to the other side over there. Can you show off the top part with the fans?
Yeah.
So John's gonna show off that top portion with the Corsair fans. There they are. There's the RGB lighting from the top.
Awesome.
So there it is. And
All of its glory.
all right, just one more time for the people that came in late or want to know what exactly is in this PC for Sawyer. This is an Origin PC L-Class workstation desktop, which is surrounded by the Origin PC Millennium chassis. You can see there it doesn't have that extra length in the bottom. The extra tall one is the Genesis, for those of you that don't know. The power supply is the 1000-watt Corsair RM1000i PSU. The motherboard is the EVGA X29 Dark motherboard. The cooler is not RGB. It's just an Origin Frostbite 240 sealed liquid cooling system. Corsair Premium RGB fans, which you saw at the top and on the back of the system. The Intel Core i9-9960X 3.1 gigahertz and 4.4 gigahertz at max turbo. And of course, the GPU we've been talking about and giving all the love to is a single 24 gigabyte PNY NVIDIA Quadro RTX 6000 GPU. RAM, we have 64 gigabytes of Corsair Vengeance, 3000 megahertz. For storage, we have the 960 gigabyte PNY CS 1311 SATA SSD. And for storage, we have 24 gigabytes. What am I saying? 24 terabytes, which is 2 12 terabyte hard drives. Say that 10 times fast. Seagate Barracuda hard drives. It's a lot of storage. For audio, we have the EVGA NU audio card, which we're going to add that after the build. And then finally, the Elgato 4K 60 Pro capture card.
Awesome.
And then finally, of course, it comes with the wooden crate arm, warranty, lifetime 24/7 US-based support, and lifetime free labor. Okay. I just got a message from the snipers that always watch over me in the stream that the cooler will be RGB. They're just gonna add it later. So, ha 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 ha. The RGB cooling will be added later. It's DLC, friends. It's DLC. You just don't see it today. Anyways, Mitchell, any last words?
Hey, I just want to thank your team for having me out today. It's been an absolute blast. What you guys do here is really awesome. This build came out fantastic. I think Sawyer's going to love it. And thank you all for tuning in today and coming and checking it out.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
John, any last words? We can't hear you.
No, I'm good.
Hold on, say that one more time for the people at home because I didn't hear that.
I'm good. No questions, no comments. I'm good.
All right, cool. Thanks, John.
Hey, thank you.
A man of few words. A man of few words. Anyways, before I go, we got a couple things to talk about, just in case you haven't done so already. I know I said it earlier in the stream, but we are running a giveaway with PNY. It's the Watch to Win giveaway, where you can sign up by typing !PNY Pro on Twitch and Mixer, and you'll get a link that'll take you to the giveaway. If you're watching on Facebook and on YouTube, don't worry, guys. I got a link for you, just right there. Just stay tuned. It'll pop up in your little box, and boom, and boom. All right, so YouTube and Facebook should have gotten links to it from me. You're welcome. I like how it puts an emoji for me. But you can sign up there, and again, this is NA only, so North America. Stay tuned for more giveaways, including worldwide giveaways. Just stay tuned for that. What else do we got? Our August promo is underway. Rule School with powerful gear. You can get up to $300 in value, including digital games, free US ground shipping, and a $50 Visa Origin gift card. You can learn more at originpc.com. Speaking of the August promo, if you order a GeForce RTX graphics card inside your Origin PC laptop or desktop, you get copies of Control and Wolfenstein Youngblood for PC. Both of these games will have RTX support. Control will have it at launch. Wolfenstein will have it soon. Trademark. And you can give RTX a good test run with these two games. I've played Control. I have Wolfenstein in my backlog. I want to play it really, really badly. But Control is awesome, and Wolfenstein looks like it's a ton of fun. So you can check that out at originpc.com. What else? We're acquired by Corsair. Hey, what do you know? You can check that out at originpc.com for more info. And I'm sure a lot of you have already seen it, but the Big O, you can check all the details on that at originpc.com as well, including like the details of how we made it, Unbox Therapy's video if you haven't seen it already, and all sorts of details. Finally, today we just launched some new hardware. Check out the Origin PC CryoCore. It's our stylish internal cooling distribution system, which routes the liquid cooling of your system. So if you got hardline or softline tubing, you can actually add it to your system and add an actual flair. Add some aesthetics to your system. As you can see in these photos, you can see the liquid just routed through your motherboard mount. And it looks really cool. I took the photos yesterday, actually, and it looks really, really cool. So if you like that extra oomph and that extra style, probably consider CryoCore. Extra little style points right there, friends. And that is it. I would like to thank everyone for participating in the build. Shout out to Mitchell over there, who's shooting some more footage for his side of things. He's also, look, let's see, there's a camera right there. You see, there's a camera. And thank you to all of you guys for tuning in. Stay tuned. We'll hopefully have some more streams during the month of August. I know we want to do some more gameplay streams. I know next week got something lined up. So stay tuned to that one. And for more Origin PC in general. Anyways, my name is Lewis, and I'm glad you guys were here to watch the stream. I will see you guys next time. See ya.